Secure. Ya, selamat malam. Offline ya? Iya, selamat malam. Aku udah masuk offline ya statusnya. Iya, selamat malam. Tes 1 2 3. Aku udah masuk offline ya statusnya. Kok masih nggak masuk ya? Iya, selamat malam. Tes 1 2 3. Aku udah masuk offline ya statusnya. Kok masih nggak masuk ya? Benar ya? Iya, selamat malam. Kita masih menunggu tes 1 2 3. Pertandingan final antara tim Liquid melawan Newbee. Masih nggak masuk ya? Ya. Astaga, masuk suaranya itu yang di belakang yang kita nonton tadi. Masuk suaranya. Mulai batu-batu apa semua. Biarin juga masuk suaraku. kita masih menunggu. Dan astaganya pun masuk. Masih sadar juga suara aku sendiri. Ya, satu grup lagi dan kelar. Oke. Semoga. Kita lihat apakah sudah dimulai atau belum. Kita coba melihat dari
I'm not sure how they're going to deal with it.
It just feels like that they have too many heroes to ban. There's Huskar, there's Alchemist, there's Brew.
masih terus menunggu. Kita coba melihat reviewnya. Ya, ini pasti dimana mulai dari upper bracket sampai ke lower bracket, dimana upper bracket pertama itu pertandingannya tim Invictus melawan IG, dimana yang dimenangkan oleh tim IG dengan skor 1-2, sehingga tim IG langsung lolos ke upper bracket semifinal dan tim Invictus sendiri harus turun ke lower bracket untuk orang kedua. Di quarter final pun yang kedua upper bracket atau jenis dan ini Newbee mereka LGD dan Newbee sampai pun turun ke lower bracket untuk, dan dilakukan juga tim secret merupakan tim secret Execration, tim yang bisa dibilang underdog juga sih, berhasil dikalahkan sama tim Secret dengan skor 1-0 di lower bracket round pertama. Terus tim Empire juga mengalahkan Cloud9, OG dan Digital Choice juga memperoleh kemenangan di lower bracket. Dan tim pertama yang pulang itu Execration, terus Cloud9, Infamous dan IG Vitality yang berhasil dipulangkan di babak playoff untuk main event. Dan perjalanan tim Liquid pun tidak semudah sampai ke grand final ini, dimana dia cukup tertatih kecuali melawan tim Empire, dia menang mudah 2-0, dan melawan LGD Gaming dia menang 2-0. Sisanya ya mereka tertatih dan berhasil melawan 1-2. Pertandingan tadi juga lebih menarik, LGD.FOREVER atau LGD melawan tim Liquid. Tim Liquid sempat ketinggalan satu game kekalahan, dimana sebuah pick yang agak aneh. Kenapa dibilang aneh ya? Anehnya itu di salah kok watch. Anehnya itu dia sini main kontrol memakai RC card di offlaner, terus Matumbaman sebagai apa lagi kalau nggak salah tadi yang pertama ya, Miracle apa Matumbaman ya yang mid laner, kalau nggak salah sih Miracle di mid melawan siapa Sniper, Matumbaman di pertama melawan Sniper di mid. Miracle itu menjadi hard carry-nya, dan di awal-awal dia jungler karena ketinggalan, agak banyak kesalahan dari main control sendiri di pertandingan pertama. Supportnya juga Kuroki dan GH juga melakukan beberapa kali kesalahan dan banyak sekali video dari GH 11 kali mati. Cuman di game kedua tim Liquid berhasil memberikan keadaan laku download. Mereka berhasil unggul dengan skor 31-17 dan mereka memakai strategi push, dimana pusarnya itu ada main control dan Matumbaman. Puknya sendiri, puk kalau tidak salah 3 kali ya dalam, kalau tidak salah enggak, game ketiga tidak ada puk. Ya aneh, kita nggak download malah terpilih download. Padahal saya bilang kita akan tunggu kerencana. Itu tim Liquid melawan best of 5. Nah, kita coba nonton untuk game pertama dari tim Liquid melawan LFY, di mana Earthseeker sebagai offlaner yang dipick oleh control.
5 seconds remaining. Dire team banned.
Kita percepat saja ya.
Radio dire.
Earthshaker.
10 seconds remaining.
Keeper of
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team 5 seconds remaining.
Earth Spirit. Look at
10 seconds remaining. 10 seconds remaining.
Bagus di sini antara Puk melawan Puk dengan left stealer, di mana Puk sebagai
Earthseeker.
10 seconds remaining. 10 seconds remaining.
Sniper.
Choose your hero. Prepare for battle.
Kita lihat sini ada beberapa kesalahan dari tim Liquid sendiri.
Seconds to battle.
Nah, kita lihat, kita tunggu jadwalnya dulu. Berat ya sekarang. Kita cari satu proses satunya. Coba saja. Nah, ya disable. Terlalu banyak yang ini. Program-program lagi. Coba nih. Terus update helper ini apa? Aktifin. Disable saja. Terlalu banyak aplikasi running di awal. Kita lihat tinggal 10 menit permainan grand final antara Newbee melawan tim Liquid akan dimulai. Newbee yang berasal dari upper bracket yang berhasil memuluskan langkahnya mulai dari melawan Execration, dia menang 2-0, melawan IG Invictus Gaming dia menang 1-2, terus terakhir dia melambangkan LGD.FOREVER yang akhirnya didepak ke lower bracket. Ya 10 menit kita lihat.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
First.
Sendiri tuh dia dijadikan di atas. Ada tertipu juga sih dengan coba kelar dulu hasil game keduanya kita lihat sini perbedaannya sangat mencolok dari Michael dan roster loket, aduh ternyata naik untuk hari ini, astaga, aduh ya 196 ya gagal harus menang. Tapi saya cuma berhasil 12. Something nggak mungkin didomit lagi dan di pick Stalker nambah hero yang paling didomit Stalker. Berat banget berat. Yang terbanyak pada Oscar pikirnya akan dipick dan akan menikmati. Ini salah cuma sini tuh FY OG. Aduh, harusnya sini benar. Ini ada benar sama sekali. Secret OG. Ini mana FY? FY benar sih. Sini benar. Sini yang salah. Ternyata malah Newbee yang dilawan. Di sini untungnya dia salah. Nah, kita lagi ke pas. Kita kembali ke pasnya. Sekitar 5 menit lagi pertandingan akan dimulai. Wiki. Kita tunggu. Oh, 2 menit lagi. 2 menit lagi dan pertandingan akan live. Kita coba cari komentatornya untuk live game ini.
Really solid run in the lower bracket. It's been very impressive to watch.
No matter what group was the strongest, we now have the 2 best teams at the tournament competing for the ultimate prize.
Certainly feels like it. And I mean, if we look especially at the strategic draft.
Ada 2 kayaknya. Yang live grand final ada 3 final day. Dan sendiri kayaknya sama yang
To merge again and again, but also some flexibility in terms of their most picked heroes. We've seen Coddle, Keeper of the Light, picked the most of.
Oh, dia berhasil. Ambil juga ya. Kalau ini kayaknya case-nya sama. Lebih menarik sih memang kalau dari bahasa Inggris. Tapi mudah pak, kita cuma bisa bahasa Indonesia. Belum kayaknya. Masih satu yang nonton. Yang lain sudah 8 ribuan. Buset. Grand final. Ya, kita tunggu aja untuk next 10 menit lagi ya, kita 2 menit lagi. Malahan hitungan detik dan dia akan naik. Dikit lagi, 3 detik. Kita harus dapat Alliance adalah tim yang sakit hati. Come on Alliance. Oh ya, saya lupa cek untuk channelnya DOTA sendiri. Kemarin saya lihat ada video yang kena copyright. Nah, ini ada copyright yang kena, makanya agak susah. Dia nggak bisa dimonetisasi. Cuman belum juga sih, kita belum dapat monetisasi di sini. Ya lumayan lah viewernya gitu ya, sedikit-sedikit ada. Alhamdulillah ya. Nah, sekarang kita lagi nunggu. Sudah live kayaknya. Belum. Kita
You don't feel that you have to kill him, but you can just make everyone be there and just soak up the experience.
Purge was talking about Venomous Gale being one of the highest magic damage spells. I think
Yeah,
at
it was
level 4 it was like 600 magic damage over time.
Which is an insane amount early on.
It's too much damage for anybody to deal with. We've seen a lot of Venomancers, especially in the core position, when they're being prioritized on levels, they've been skipping the Plague Wards and actually putting points into Gale to have that early game impact so people don't mess with them.
I wonder if you can talk to me a little bit about what we've seen Team Liquid stop doing, because, you know, from a really basic perspective, they seem to be doing better and better and better in their games the closer they get to the grand finals.
Yep, I think they stopped putting mind control on initiators. I think what did you play in that first game? It was the Earthshaker. I don't think that worked well at all for them.
Yeah.
I think they need to treat him like more of a position, like more priority. You know, like I was saying earlier, KuroKy plays on a team with 4 core players. GH, like super high MMR. He is he's a support player, but he's not really a support player.
He's not just
4 cores,
making
man.
plays like every time he's getting in these fissures. It's like something that like everyone does, but he just does it again and again and again, like constantly. Every time he can get the DP ultimate, the fissures, and
that's something that's really important, is that balance between your 4 and 5 player, because you need your supports to still be like the little team. You know, they have to fill the role of support. You have to help your cores. But KuroKy has figured out how to adapt his play style around his 4 core teammates and play like an incredibly hard position 5. So we'll see KuroKy, you know, very low on net worth, I think, in every single game.
And levels as well. I think this last game he was level 3 when GH was level 6, and it was like 14 minutes in when he wasn't even level like 6 yet. So.
Yeah, he was super far behind, but GH was really farmed. GH was very high level, and GH, he delivers. You know, it's like you put all this farm and levels on him, and he comes through. You know, he makes plays and he wins you games.
Yeah, it's one of the big things that it's been really fun to watch GH there playing Coddle. Get the double Coddle up there. I mean, he goes to the jungle and spends quite a while farming, between 10 and 15 minutes. I mean, he's not AFK, just, you know, leaving his lanes to be, but he is doing far more jungling than we typically see out of a usual roaming or Position 5 support.
In that game 1 we saw against LFY, we had the Puck and Lifestealer combo. Inflame on the Puck, constantly just hunting. He went through the jungle over and over and killed Coddle time and time again. And that's when you know, LFI won that game. It's, you attack GH and you limit his skill set and items and farm.
And that is where they need like this kind of hero as a prophet who actually opens up the map, scouting.
Yep.
Because now they had a Shaker who kind of wants to farm this dagger as well. And
And I think it's, for Newbee, I think it's very important to have heroes kind of with wave clear. They can clear waves fast, or they need to have some sort of saving supports, because you want to be able to shove those lanes fast and not get jumped by, you know, say a Shaker or something.
So
or you want to have summons.
What do you guys think is the solution to how fast Liquid is playing? Like, what kind of mindset should Newbee have coming into this series?
I think, as Pika said, like to be able to clear these waves, because that is what Prophet is like doing right, is pushing in the lane, so be able to push them out fast and then being able to fast catch someone else, like on the other side of the map where you can join as well. So maybe Batrider could really work for them. Again, they played it this last game, right?
Yeah. You said, like, who did you say?
Oh no, yeah, it was LFY who
LFY.
played it, yeah.
Batrider did a lot of work.
Yeah, exactly.
Lineup.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Inflame is really
Kayaknya masih lama. Oh. Dead Rider. Masih menunggu. Masih menunggu. game pertama masih lama juga, masih ada sekitar 10 menitan. Yang menang itu siapa ya? Legion. Revival Konoha. Juara 2, mantap. Buset. Jack of Defense. Let's see apakah tim Liquid berhasil mengamankan sejarah yang berulang atau tim Newbee akan mematahkan sejarah, dimana sejarahnya itu tim yang Chinese team itu tidak pernah juara berturut-turut. Tahun kemarin kan Wings Gaming dan Chinese, tahun pertama TI1 itu dari Ukraina namanya itu Natus Vincent, terus yang kedua itu IG Virtus Gaming, dimana disitu role supportnya masih dipegang oleh Cuan. Terus tim ketiga itu TI3 dimenangkan oleh Alliance dari Amerika. Yang keempat dimenangkan oleh EG. Kelima itu dimenangkan oleh TI5. Oh enggak, 4 itu bukan. Empat Newbee kalau nggak salah ya. Oh iya. Sabar. Dari 2011 itu dimenangkan oleh Navi, ya, dimana itu masih pemainnya ada Xbox, Style, Like of Heaven, Dendi dan Papi. Terus TI2 dimenangkan oleh Invictus Gaming, pemainnya dimana ada Zou, Chuan, Fight, Ferrari 430, YF. Yang TI3 Alliance dimenangkan oleh Alliance, yang pemainnya masih ada Noda, S4, Admiral, Bulldog, Ake, EGM, dimana Ake juga sekarang sudah jadi komentator ya. Terus yang TI4 itu Newbee berhasil memenangkan TI4. 2015 itu EG jenis pemainnya itu PPD, Sumail, Universe, AWI 2000, Fir. AWI 2000 sekarang sudah tidak ada. Nah, sekarang kita lihat apakah tim Newbee akan kembali mengambil juara TI atau berhasil direbut oleh tim Liquid. Nah, draftnya sendiri untuk draft pemainnya sendiri tuh di Newbee sudah ada perubahan. Dulu masih ada Xiao Egg, Sumail, Mu Hao, Banana dan Sanseng. Dan sekarang itu ada Mugi, SCCC, KPI, Kakak dan Fate. Jadi perbedaan yang sangat berbeda dari tim yang dulu, dari Newbee di 2014. Nah, di 2015 Evil Genius, 2016 Wings Gaming. Kita lihat 2017 siapa yang mengisi, apakah Newbee atau pertama kali pemenang TI itu Liquid, pemenang baru. Kalau pemenang baru berarti sejarah tidak berubah. Kalau Newbee menang berarti sejarah berhasil diukir kembali oleh Newbee, yaitu mematahkan sejarah tim Chinese tidak pernah memenangkan turnamen berturut-turut dan pertamanya tim untuk 2 kali juara TI. Kita tunggu saja apakah hasilnya akan berubah. Kita lagi tunggu sponsor dari Telkomsel. Semalam masih berdiskusi. Lama juga ya. Masih lama kah? Ini apa ya? Airsoft Helper Compact. Dia terinstall bersama dengan perasaan saya tidak pernah install ini ya, helper.exe. Kita lihat. Dia terbuat dari paket mana ya? Oh, kita cari dulu. Memang dia dari control panel ya? Tim secret sudah. Ituannya galau. Ini prosesnya saya tidak tahu dari mana dia terinstalnya. Soalnya prosesnya berat. Nah ini. Ada juga ya users bed. Kapan saya pernah install? Studio. Hi-res. Nanti hi-res ya. Hi-res juga saya nggak tahu apa. Cuman kalau dari paketnya dia Virtus.pro. Ini beda. Ini authenticate dan update service. Lama siapa juga ini? Kompensi terus. Airsoft ada Helper Compact. Siapa saja ya? Oh, saya nggak tahu. Continue. Nggak bisa ya? Ini terpakai mana lagi? Bentar. Kalau udah kita hapus manual ya. Masih diskusinya. Masih menunggu. Yes, kita saja dulu. Banyak sekali aplikasi yang baru ya.
Little mozzarella, little Gouda, little Parmesan,
A lot of
and
cheese.
a big win for Liquid.
Korea broadcast.
Strike a similar tone as the first, as each team used amazing team fight coordination and execution to push each other to the brink. Ultimately, Liquid would prevail, eliminating Virtus.pro and securing their place in the top 4. There, Liquid would face an LGD team that had easily eliminated a strong IG squad earlier in the same day, with the winner assured a top 3 finish. Despite some clutch LGD plays, Liquid's Morphling draft in Game 1 and Huskar Broodmother duo in Game 2 proved too much to overcome, and Liquid would eliminate LGD and earn the right to face LFY in the lower bracket finals.
But now Somnus left to the Wolves. Liquid, no mind games now. Straight down the middle lane. Miracle starting to heat up. He's heating up. Give him another. He wants more. Bulldozing his way through 11. Liquid surge in. They want this tower. GG! Liquid have done it!
Facing off in their first set against LFY in the entire tournament, Liquid would continue their amazing lower bracket run.
Melee is still up for Liquid. This might actually be a win for them. Game 2, a complete stop by Liquid.
Mind control! Mind control! This is his buyback! This is his diamond! No! BKB cheese! He's gonna get the last round!
The base is crumbling.
Profit.
Death by 1,000 cuts.
Going for the tier 4 mind control, popping that BKB. He's down to half. Can they actually kill him?
But
no,
still
he's gonna be fine.
He's still fighting this. Miracle is fighting this.
GG!
And secure a berth in a grand finals where Newbee away.
Newbee's turn to ban.
Get too far into the draft. Liquid actually went for kills on heroes instead of going for the throne. None of those heroes had buyback. We saw a couple make that mistake in their series versus Liquid, which costed them their road here at the International. And I imagine we're going to have I bet we'll have a couple mega creep defenses going on in this series. It's kind of where Dota is right now, right?
Definitely possible.
We see the Night Stalker and Earth Spirit ban by Team Liquid. Very popular heroes for Newbee. Night Stalker also the second most picked and banned hero at the entire tournament.
Team Liquid passing up on the Ancient Apparition ban, which they've been doing pretty much exclusively for the last couple series.
Yeah.
That's going to...
I guess it's because of the series that Newbee played against LFY, where they actually picked Earth Spirit in the first all of the games. So
they did really well. But now, if Newbee does go for that Ancient Apparition, that is going to prevent Liquid, for the most part, from going into that Alchemist pick, going into that Oracle pick. Caudle as well, to some extent. I agree.
They're giving a lot of respect to Kaka.
Yeah, they're leaving the Caudle out there, even with Night Stalker banned.
I speak for the team.
First pick, Furion. He finally made it. First pick. Best hero of the tournament, I think.
who looks back?
Oh my gosh, we're going to have a split push, ratty tournament finals. These EU teams are the worst.
Well, some from EU.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm sure USA out there in the crowd is taking claim of Team Liquid right about now. I saw a couple USA flags, and I heard a couple chants.
Yeah, Team Liquid's got a long heritage.
It's just kind of the American way, right? We just take the teams. There's for Navi with USA chants all in there.
Tumbleman's finish. Miracle from Jordan. Mind Control from Bulgaria.
That's about as American
PH
as it
from
gets.
Lebanon. Hiroki, Germany. International lineup.
It's cool, man. Teams, we see that so much more nowadays. Players from all over the world wanting to win, working with people in different countries, different cultures.
Don't forget the Korean coach.
Yes, Korean coach. They just want to win.
That's the blood secret right there.
We saw Bloodseeker paired with Earth Spirit every single game that Newbee played in the Winners Bracket Finals versus LFY. And here they're choosing it right after Nyx Assassin.
Curious if Liquid will actually put another hero together with the Prophet against the Bloodseeker to pressure him, or if they would actually even go aggro try against it and put the Prophet safe lane.
That's the thing though, I think Newbee will be a little bit smarter about securing Bloodseeker a better lane. I know they can play it, Mugi can play it in either safe lane or off lane, and then SCCC could also play it in the mid lane.
Yeah, I think the reason we've seen before, now we see that the Earth Spirit is banned, but they like this Earth Spirit with Bloodseeker, of course, because you deal a lot of damage to a lot of heroes. Would you
have thought in the grand finals teams would just be like, GH, you take Coddle. Try it.
Well, given that he's 9-1 on Earthshaker, no, excuse me, 10-1 now.
Yeah.
They actually picked the Nyx as well, like maybe to make sure that they don't go Call in the second pick here on Liquid, because Nyx is one of the best heroes against Call to find him when he's farming in the jungle, and with the Carapace to, I don't know,
to grab the blinding or the illuminates.
Yeah, to catch him and damage him, of course, as well.
Also good against Furion. The Nyx finding him throughout the game and kind of keeping Furion's split push in check. Going to the Slardar, when have we seen Team Liquid? I know we've seen them play it.
They played it before, last time they played it with Darkseer and Wyvern, I think.
Okay.
But that didn't go so well. They lost that one game against...
Yeah, I don't love that hero for my control.
Yeah, virtually every game that Team Liquid has done the Slardar Darkseer combo, it's been a very difficult game, even with the times that they have won.
GH has been playing Slara quite good though, at least. It's kind of as a shaker in a way. She's been playing a lot as well.
Do you think we'll also see the Broodmother ban here in the second phase? LFY banned Huskar and Broodmother in all 3 of the games in the second phase?
Could be possible.
What do you think about Drow for Liquid?
It's you like Drow versus Bloodseeker?
I mean, if there's no Darkseer, I think if they have a lot of heavy physical damage and the Bloodseeker just can't fight you because they have too much damage, and I also feel like they could pressure the lane very heavily with this Prophet, with Drow Aura, getting some backup maybe from the Slaughter in the off lane.
They could. I think it's risky. It's not really where Liquid has been this tournament, so it would definitely be a bold pick. I also think Bloodseeker, once it gets past those things like a timing on the Drow lineup, where the Bloodseeker, he starts getting his SNY, his BKB, his Radiance, and then I think it's impossible for a Drow lineup to deal with him. Also, Lich still in the pool. We saw that hero be incredibly effective against Drow strategies. Lich might be a good pick for Newbee here. Not super great against Furion, but that ice armor, can't underestimate that up against this Slardar.
I want to ask a little bit about the bans that we're seeing out of Newbee, or excuse me, the bans we're seeing out of Team Liquid, because Newbee's bans look very much so. Team Liquid plays all 3 of those heroes a lot and have won a lot of drafts with just strong play from those. But we have Tidehunter banned right away from Team Liquid.
I think it's because Newbee has been playing a lot around their team fight, and Tide is one of the best heroes to team fight. As well as maybe they want to pick some melee safe lane hero on Liquid that Tide fares.
He's really good up against these first 2 heroes.
Yeah.
The Kraken Shell will just remove amplified damage.
That is true as well.
And he used the build mech. Yeah. He doesn't really care about Prophet Vectors that much.
Exactly. Slardar is going to die in Ravage 9 out of 10 times. That'd be cool to see some Tidehunters. I want to see some Tidehunters, some Enigmas, some big team fight.
Could it be a Lycan pick for Liquid, and that is why they ban both Axe and Tide?
It's not out of it. It is into a Bloodseeker though as well. So
yeah, Bloodseeker is pretty good against Lycan.
That is true. That's not the best pick.
5 seconds remaining.
Broodmother ignored.
Yeah, maybe that's why we're seeing this Axe and Tide bans, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great point.
4th pick Brood.
Yeah, strong heroes to go up against little spiderlings.
Newbee knows it's coming though. That was an intentional decision of theirs to ban Venomancer instead of Broodmother. They'll have a plan for it.
And at the same time, for Liquid, banning this Axe might have been a way for them to try to get the Venomancer to trick Newbee into thinking that it's a Brood pick, to ban the Brood instead, and being able to get the Venomancer themselves for Liquid. It's a lot of mind in the games.
Crystal Maiden's getting so much attention. Yeah. Do you think she's a fast enough hero to keep up with Liquid's playstyle?
I think she allows Bloodseeker to play really fast, and also Nyx. And I think it should be okay if they pair it up with something else that benefits. I really like the Nova against this.
Could you define the term fast? I feel like we're using that vocabulary a lot. I'm not sure if people understand.
In what sense? Okay, I guess in the sense that she comes online early, or
yeah, what makes a hero fast?
Well, I think that depends. That depends on how you use it, or you know. But I think most of the time when you talk about a fast hero, you talk about like Slaughter is fast because he runs fast, but he's not necessarily a fast hero because he comes online only after he gets his Blink Dagger.
Sure.
And usually when you talk about fast heroes, it's a hero that doesn't really need any items to be effective early on, or doesn't need much time to become effective.
By the time Crystal Maiden's level 5, she has 2 abilities.
Yeah, but levels 1 through 4,
and then
she's kind of slow.
Yeah, can regenerate a whole lot of mana for her team. Makes very influential in ganks.
Here comes the Batrider as well for Newbee that LFY has against this Prophet.
An extremely fast Lifestealer pick for Team Liquid.
Yep, Slaughter Nyx. Yep, we got the Slaughter Nyx combo. Lifestealer also a hero that lanes incredibly well against Batrider. Can actually solo that matchup with the Magic Stick.
Yeah, he doesn't care about Maiden or Nyx at all either.
It'd be very hard to gank this Lifestealer.
We've seen this sort of shape to a Liquid lineup before, where they go for an insanely hard carry at the very last pick. An Alchemist last pick with just these heroes, not even having Lifestealer be the main position 1.
It's possible. I feel like Miracle's going to be playing the Lifestealer. I think that they've kind of adjusted to this strategy where Miracle's always playing the 1, but Tumbleman being a little bit more versatile with his pick, playing lots of different styles of heroes.
They expect that they want to pick this mid hero though with the Lich, or maybe they're gonna put the Lich safe lane. I see some teams do it, but I don't really like it so much.
Isn't this the Lifestealer plus Lich? Isn't that what LFY did against Liquid just now?
Yes.
In game 1, up against the Bloodseeker.
Yep. The Lifestealer, even when he got ruptured, he just kind of stood his ground, and if any spells came his way, he used Rage, and he just kind of sat there and said, "Come at me."
Yeah, and I know you also talked a little bit about like you like the matchup Prophet against Bat, or you think it's at least.
I think the laning phase is fine, but I think the later the game goes, Batrider gets really, really good in that matchup. Nature's Prophet just has no escape mechanism, so if the Batrider gets on top of him, he just kind of drops.
So as we're getting into these final picks, what is the composition for Team Liquid looking like as a whole team, and what's the composition of Newbee looking like?
A little low in the team fight here for Team Liquid, but they've got great pick-off with the Lifestealer Slaughter bombs that are going to come out. Nature's Prophet can also TP and follow up on those ganks. They probably needs a second initiator, I think, depending on Slardar, especially as he is kind of that slow hero and doesn't come online until he gets a Blink Dagger. I'd like to see them get another form of initiation, so that way they can secure those kills to get him his Blink Dagger.
And what do you see as that last hero? Is there anything that you have in mind?
We still have, I mean, I don't think Miracle would play Puck. I don't think Matumbleman would either.
Might be something more carry heavy to fit with the Lich mid.
And what about Newbee as a team?
What about them, Sean?
Tell me kind of what are their strengths, their weaknesses?
Well, their strengths is that they haven't lost a series yet in this main event.
But a lot of pick-off with both Batrider and Nyx. Nyx can go around enemies and try to find people, and Batrider can also find kills on Prophet and Lich at least.
The CM aura is going to be incredibly helpful for their team, especially in the early game, running around, constantly being able to fight.
Lina paying the final ban. And Roll Warlord, the final pick for Team Liquid, helped them edge that win out against Team Secret. They've enjoyed it with their push heavy.
They have some seriously heavy physical damage right now. Troll also one of those heroes that people like playing with the Nature's Prophet. He just gives you a lot more damage. Like when you have this Slaughter, you can run around even without the Nakes now. And just, you crush one guy, and if Prophet is nearby, you just press hold, and the guy's dead.
They've got 50 seconds here to make a pick. What is a, how do we feel about maybe Sven?
You think it's gonna be a mid Bloodseeker then?
Yeah, I mean, they can still, I don't know, I think they can get pretty flexible with their lanes. I think it's, you know, Liquid's going to be doing some sort of like dual lane setup with a roaming Slardar, so I imagine the whole lane phase is going to be a little free for both teams. Newbee's only really going to have to worry about that Furion porting in and helping out that Slardar secure kills. Any anti-physical damage heroes? There's still a Timbersaw, who can get a lot of reactive armor. Sven with the Warcry. I mean, I'm thinking armor, right? Armor or something.
Sven is quite physical heavy himself, though, against the Lich.
He likes, Sven would be very clever.
Wow.
Yeah. Lina. Well, of course, Lina, almost certainly going to be going mid. Yep, SCCC loaded on. Very strong at hitting towers.
Newbee's early game is really fast.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah, Newbee has a lot of heroes that can come online early with levels. Team Liquid, physical damage strong lineup. It's time to head down to the casters for our very first game of the Grand Finals.
The biggest series of the Dota 2 year. It's the place where immortals are crowned, and it is the International Grand Final. I am Toby1 here with Synderen. We will take you through this best of 5 series. So far, Synderen, Newbee and Liquid, we have our drafts for game 1. What are your thoughts?
I like Liquid in this one, honestly. I think they got a lot of the heroes that they have been very successful with. The composition of their lineup looks very solid to me. Good laning, good fighting later on. Great ways of picking off on the map, great vision. Actually, something both teams have is a good way of finding vision. I think what the panel said is important. Newbee's lineup is fast at coming online, and I think they need to start taking the fights early and shut down these cores of Liquid, because 2 physical damage cores late game with Slaughter, Corrosive Haze can be very difficult to deal with. And I don't know about Newbee's lineup scaling potential so much.
It does seem a little odd, like maybe if we're looking at the old Alina, maybe we'd be like, hey, this has actually been really powerful. I kind of want to touch a little bit on mind control. We have that Nature's Prophet back in. It was a huge star in the previous series. Now he's up against Batrider, up against Nyx Assassin. How is he meant to deal with this? Do you actually look to have mind control play a very similar role as he final?
It's definitely going to be a hard test for him, this one. I think it's harder than all of the games he had against LFY on Nature's Prophet, for sure. Some great counters in that regard. And I think we're going to expect less, at least I personally am going to expect less of a massive impact out of Mind Control's hero, just the way it works in this game. But he doesn't, that doesn't say too much, because in the last games he was completely outstanding. So if he even has less impact, it can still be very impactful. But it is certainly a very difficult Nature's Prophet game. And Newbee will want to try to, I think early on, try to get these skirmishes going. I think that's something their lineup is very good at, using this Nyx Assassin Batrider's fast heroes and then combining it with the Bloodright and just in general the passive of the Bloodseeker, that thirst to snowball fights, I think is what it's going to be all about.
Well, Newbee already looking to try and find their first snowball. It's a 4-man smoke maneuver into the jungle, looking for an opening, but Tumbleman is the only one from Team Liquid there, while Liquid doing a little bit more of a similar thing. Mind Control and GH just trying to secure more of these bounty runes. So either side, just trying to poke around, see if they can find an opening. They do not want to make a mistake. You do not want to be 1 game down in this best of 5 series.
I think that is something important to keep in mind as well for this, that it is a best of 5. Best of 5s have a tendency of getting very different from best of 3s if they go the stretch. Obviously, because if it's 3-0, then it's still 10 pictures on 3 games. But these teams will be learning about each other as they play. They obviously are very prepared for this matchup, but there will be some new things emerging throughout this series that will take priority. We already saw the first step toward this series was giving Liquid that Nature's Prophet, and Liquid choosing to first pick it over the Coddle has already been their first adaptation to this matchup. And there's going to be more of that coming later on. So the first game, as you said, every game is massively important, but you need to look for
that
the adaptation.
has been dewarded. He just tried to go for the denial. It won't happen, however. SC was able to get the first hit on that one, but it does reveal the fact that GH was prepping himself for a gank in mid, running this dual lane mid, Lich and Troll Warlock. That's a lot of harassment, but of course it goes the other way. We've almost gone back into group stage meta with Nyx Assassin harassing out the mid. Only difference is it's not Intel core mid.
I think this is the worst mana burn I've ever seen on 4-1. You mana burn a troll, he has 14 int. This is like the dumbest hero in Dota. And, you know, it doesn't really have that high of an impact.
You're offending Ogre Magi by doing that. KP on bottom lane, a little bit of trouble. GH actually able to get that first crush off. The body blocking from the trees. Mind Control! You said if he had even a small amount of the impact he had in that lower bracket series, it'd already be great, but that was all set up from the tree and block into the stun, into a second wave of tree and block. And KP, a hard lane for him on bottom.
They take full advantage of Batrider not being level 2. This body block is going to become impossible once he reaches that level 2 unless Firefly's on cooldown. And Liquid identifying that this is a move they can make now and only now with GH. Seeing a lot of great plays from him throughout this tournament. Just, I think what defines this player more than anything is just game sense. Like, GH has a very good eye for what works at what times in the game and how he should move around, and that's in a position 4 player in this patch, that is like the highest quality you can have, is that game sense.
We have a lane switch, middle lane, Courier snipe, Mind Control coming in for the kill on SCC. Miracle was already diving into the tower. Thanks to Nyx Assassin rotating towards bottom. Miracle and Kuro were not being punished for their dive. Mind Control, however, might but GH in the neighborhood. They're going to look for the double crush, and GH, he'll connect. A double kill for Mind Control, and GH, he's trying to get in front of him, almost attempting to get just in the line of Kaka. We cannot go through the trees. It won't work, and Team Liquid, they are everywhere on this map. SDCC has come back to the mid lane thanks to the Shrine, but I don't know if he really wants to be here. This is a horrendous lane to be in.
This is such an explosive start from Liquid. I think what plays a really big role here is obviously that first blood bottom sets up the Nature's Prophet to start already being active and moving around, getting the Courier Snipe and the kill in mid. And I really dislike the Nyx Assassin skilling Mana Burn level 1. I think if what you're going to use it for is Mana Burning Troll, you're actually hurting yourself more than him. You pay 100 mana to burn like 40, and you know, he could have maybe had the stun earlier, maybe they could have counterplayed or done something bottom for his Bat Rider.
Oh, something bottom, KP. GH again, trying to beat into him. He doesn't have a friend nearby. Lifestealer is currently taking care of the pull. The KP was attempting just to break the equilibrium of that bottom lane.
Yeah, Liquid have gone for lane swap because I think the Lifestealer fares really poorly against Bloodseeker in this one-on-one matchup top, and Liquid don't want to commit supports to that lane. So instead they're going to send Mind Control up there, who should also be losing this lane, but after what he's already done, I think it's more, it's a better economic choice for Liquid to sacrifice Mind Control a little bit in this sense, and then give the Lifestealer a better matchup against the Bat Rider.
Open wounds on bottom, going after KP. GH has to crush the bubble, waiting out a little bit longer. The maximum amount of control time on KP. The Firefly is cutting the trees, and Mateleman happy to walk through it. GH taking a lot of damage for this, but the kill, the fourth one, goes the way of Team Liquid.
This is going to empower Mugi a bit in that top lane with the Thirst kicking in, but still won't be able to run down Mind Control just yet.
That's a good thing to keep an eye on too, like how low everybody is and just how quickly Mugi is able to reach that level 6.
Newbee needs to solve this mid lane though. Man, this does not look good for them. They're actually getting completely destroyed in this game. It reminds me of was that game 3 against LFY where Liquid were just completely destroying the early game, and then LFY almost came back off that carry morphling. I believe that was the 3rd game. In this game, Newbee don't have that powerhouse carry that can bring them back. They really need Bat Rider to have a good game. He's having an awful time as well.
Yep.
Nobody on Newbee is having a good time apart from Bloodseeker. It's like their only hero right now.
Well, what are you going to do to rotate to support the Crystal Maiden? The panel miner says she can come online early, but right now Faith has been spending more time moving between the lanes trying to help out than being able to level up and farm. In fact, even dying already. So that's why they're just backing off from the lane, letting Faith get some levels inside of the jungle, letting everyone else rotate, and hoping that SE can use at least his spam with the Slave to get control of this mid lane back again for Miracle. I say control, at least get some level of CS. Currently it's 11-0 to a 28-10 CS matchup in the mid. This is more than a stomping. This is what SECC did to LFY when they played against them in the Winners Bracket Final.
I'll be honest with you though, it's pretty hard to play Lina in this game. In that lane, when you're playing against Lich Troll and a TPing Nature's Prophet, no player in the world can win this lane. Like, it's just not possible. Maybe that bot, if they train the bot a bit more, maybe this matchup, but no.
We only have real players in this grand final. Center and bottom lane, already Mateleman going for another dive. KP has to take flight, but the open wounds will slow him down. GH is here. It's a secondary stun. That's all they want to hold him in position. KP will fall. And Team Liquid,
are they even killing him top, maybe?
Newbee able to TP out, Mind Control, they get the vision. And this was the only lane that was going decently for Newbee. And Liquid, with the rotations up, Mind Control being here, and the Frost Blast from Kuro, they'll get the kill on the Bloodseeker.
Something that's really interesting about these Liquid games when they have the Nature's Prophet is it actually reminds me of how they play when they have the IO. It's what enables them to make these super early aggressive rotations around the map, just really put pressure on every single lane. They use the IO in that way, where IO maybe starts mid, wins that mid lane, then can always rotate over to get a kill with their off laner or whatnot. But they're using Nature's Prophet in a similar way, and when you see these games play out and how Liquid has used already in this game the Nature's Prophet and the previous series, it makes you wonder if you should just actually start giving them that shaker, just so you can get to play Dota.
They're coming to mid. They're going to try and punish Miracle at the moment. A quick rupture. Miracle still close to the T1 tower. Has to try and run it off. He's got a lot of life, but without a TP scroll, can't really go anywhere. Mind Control wants to sprout control the hillside. And by the time he finishes the TP, mid lane is already dead. And finally, Newbee will get themselves on the board with a 1-6.
Yeah, I think SC really wanted that kill on Lina. It looked like they were trying to kill secure it, but Blood Right did get the last hit. I think it's important for Newbee to get SCC online in this game. The Bloodseeker will have a fine time regardless. Like, sure, he died top, but he's the hero that has harm. You need to bring the other heroes into the game. And we see Newbee's approach to this is get the Nyx Assassin that safe lane, get him to level 6. Bat Rider will move to the stacks in the top side of his jungle. And That way they're trying to activate all of their heroes to maybe start being able to fight Liquid back in a few minutes, which I think is what they need. Like, this pace, their heroes can't keep up unless their supports get levels.
Liquid are looking to keep the pressure right over the observer board. GH, now the range creep attacks him, pings out the fact that there is vision from Newbee down there.
Yeah, it's going to show that ward.
Yep.
Else the creep wouldn't have aggroed on him there. So good information for him to have.
And then Mind Control is exactly what he wants to do. Like, you talk about the Batrider leaving the top lane, just do his thing, farming up in the jungle, but Mind Control's up on this top lane, ready to pressure the T1 tower. Just like we saw previously, Moogie, he wants to rupture onto the top and coming up in the tower. Here comes GH. It's the same gank over and over again. The Frostbite's nice, but then again the damage. Kaka can't turn for the stun. And the Infest, he's inside the creep, popping back out. Mind Control will join the fight. Random nature damage has already been inflicted as GH, he's got sprint off cooldown in 2 seconds time. So gives the movement speed to catch up to fate, especially when Mind Control holds him in this round. He's looking for the stun on Moogie. Kuro just wants the ulti go. They may, and yes they do. They have enough damage to kill off Moogie, turning attention towards Faith. Faith falling for the second time this game.
Moogie was thinking about it on the Bloodseeker there. He was like hesitant, should I turn, should I not turn? Because of the damage that Lifestealer took with that Rupture on. Matumbaman actually jumped out of the Infest and started running a little bit, giving him a lot of strength. But, you know, the Lich came in from the side, Kuro with this really quick level 6, one of the big benefits of Lich. And he's going to just keep scaling with this max level and Sacrifice, 8 minutes in.
They're coming again. Bottom lane, Mind Control and Kuro are down here, but as GH, who's patrolling SC's farming in the jungle, Moogie does come to the bottom lane, trying to make that Rupture do something. But for the moment, all they can do is try and pinch Rupture. Just put an aggressive Observer Ward down so we get a little bit of extra vision. As the rest of Newbee do move over, he'll see Kaka, he'll end up seeing Moogie. GH, not sure how you get out this one. Top lane, the fight's been going in the meantime. Is KP dying, but GH runs off the Rupture, so a 1-1 trade-off on the opposite sides of the map.
I think GH was trying to force something out of Newbee there. I mean, he ran into SCC without any allies there. They couldn't have killed him with an Nature's Prophet TP either, so he was trying to scare them, maybe force TPs, try to maybe steal that creep. But Newbee's supports were already in the area, and they basically get themselves a little bit of a freebie on him. It's not the biggest kill ever, but anything right now for Newbee is important.
They'll take it. When they're about 5.8k in net worth behind, they're about 4k in the experience behind. You know Newbee are just begging for anything. Top lane, the Prophet's going to TP in, so well, if Newbee wants it, they can try and take a defense up here, but GH is also rotating around the back past the Radiant Ancients and towards KP, who actually can get sandwiched. That Observer Ward down once again. 2 aggressive Observer Wards. You wouldn't even think you're 10 minutes into this game, but it reveals KP's position perfectly. So the Crush can come in, KP, he can Firefly and get up the hill. I say he can, he doesn't have the movement speed. Turning on the spot, almost like he's the one getting sticky napalmed up. And now it's 11-2 in favor of Team Liquid, going at more than 1 kill a minute.
Yeah, they're waiting for GH to get level 6, then I think they're just going to take Roche with this Troll. When he gets the Morbid Mask, Troll can usually do it just with Morbid Mask alone, I think, when he's like this level 9. But Miracle is also going to have Ice Armor to help him and the Amplify out of GH. Haze is online, they're going to smoke. Let's see if that's the exact move.
Yeah, but look,
Kaka is scouting out.
He's there under the cover of Vendetta. Where's your detection? It's a Sentry Ward available for Kuro, but at least Kaka has this information. So here comes Newbee. You can Blood Right, you can find the control. Is Kuro getting caught out? SCCC, he has Laguna Blade. Doesn't want to burn him for just a Lich. He wants a call, but he's not going to live long enough. Matumbaman just arrived with so much damage. Even GH getting that follow-up stun onto KP. Firefly is available. He's now going to burn it. Lasso's up to the double stun from Kaka, creating space. They're looking towards Slaughter. Anchor the clipping is about to begin. GH unwillingly left on the hill. Where's the stun? Where's the control? GH just TP's out under the cover of Maul. Not too far away. He wants to stay in the fight, so he only went towards the shrine and then back to the mid. Matumbaman with no mana and Moogie moving at very, very fast speed. This is the downside about not TPing all the way back to base. Moogie currently is going at about 700 movement speed on this Bloodseeker. Liquid will not win a position battle with this Bloodseeker.
So Newbee do stop the Roshan, but they end up losing their Lina. So they basically, not just the Lina. They lose the Lina and their Courier. I guess I didn't see that, but I'm guessing Mind Control sniped it once again. So they lost Courier, they lost Lina, they got nothing out of that except protecting the Roshan. But it feels like Liquid will just be going there again fairly soon, as they are just so far ahead already.
You want a snipe position. The Courier died on top of the Radiant throne. That's the death position.
Yep, the Courier. Sounds like a Nature's Prophet to me. So SC probably regrets not Lagooning the Lich there, right? It's just such a hard call to make because it looked like they were going to get the kill regardless. But Kuro is already fairly tanky with this Ice Armor at level 9. It's not the easiest support to bring down. Actually has the same health on Lich as the mid Lina does right now, being out-leveled by Kuro. That's a pretty bad sign for SC in this game. You're behind the supports as the mid lane has the most experience this patch, so you're losing really damn hard on your mid hero.
They have to turn the attention back to what we almost said like 5 minutes ago, where Newbee just have to get anything they possibly can out of this map. Yep. They're going to play go for a kill. They're going to find Matubberman, Kaka, walking right over the top of him. Here goes Eruption to start with, follow-up stun. Rage is available for the Lion Stealer, but then again when the silence is there, SCCC commits this time with a Laguna Blade ending the killing spree. Sacrifices the tier 1 tower on bottom lane that Team Liquid took in the meantime. Matumba
knew that was a pretty high-risk play, I think. Just moving in there. His team were taking the bottom tier 1 towers. They felt like, okay, worst case scenario, I die for a tower. But I actually think Newbee weren't going to try to defend that anyway. He's just trying to get some sort of information into the Radiant jungle.
KP's hunting Kuro. He's trying to get vision. Now he's able to get it. Sticky Napalm. 2 stacks up, but Kuro back behind his creep wave and across the river where Newbee will not venture.
This is a really fast lane. Tranquils and Windlace.
The downside is his mission was to put down this Observer and Sentry, and both will now get dewarded.
Yep.
Thanks to the fact his positioning was scouted out.
This is crucial for Newbee. They have to just hold on to the map. If the map disappears for just a few minutes, then Liquid will take Roche, all the towers, and then eventually you're just not coming back into this game. They have to play, even though they're behind, they have to keep playing fast and try to make aggressive moves. It's what we saw LFY do in that third game that I'll be referencing quite a bit in this game, is that LFY got destroyed in the lanes, and then they played aggressively with smokes. Like, they just ran in and tried to take fights because they knew if they don't do anything, they're going to get starved out on the map and don't even have a chance to come online. So there's a key item coming here. KP will get the Blink Dagger, so respectable 14-minute timing after getting completely destroyed in lane. 5 deaths, 14-minute Blink. Pretty good from him.
It's been a rough day at the office for KP. There's no doubting that one. But you look at what target you can actually achieve with that Rider. Is meant to be one of those great pickups to get the Nature's Prophet caught out when Mind Control goes for his split push. But if you look at Mind Control's items, he's at 2.6k gold, very rapidly approaching that Shadow Blade. So Invis detection will be essential. They're going to try and do it the old-fashioned way. 3 heroes smoke up down mid. They'll team up with SCCC. But Team Liquid already have 4 heroes at their tier 1 tower. They're ready to defend this.
And I think Miracle instantly pinged out SC just appearing out of nowhere. So I think they know the smoke is happening. He didn't attack out of fog. He actually attacked in the creep vision. So Miracle has the info, and I don't think.
KP 5 wide up. Miracle's the opportunity.
Oh, he did fail!
He did a blink! He did the crush! Now the double stun is in there from Kaka! Really catching Team Liquid on the back heel. Rather Major bounces through, however, so at least they can get the leader back. But right now, 2 heroes down for either side. It's Faith on the run with Boogie down south away from Kuro. While Mind Control and Matubberman turn their attention towards Kaka. Another double stun from this Nyx assassin. And Team Liquid, they're going to be sad about this if they can't get more. They're looking for it under the tier 1 tower. Boogie is here, ready to fight. Matubberman stealing that line back, ready to fight up Kaka. Invis for the moment. They'll drop the sentry ward under the towers by Carapace. Buying space for Kaka. They need more damage. Mind Control dusting up Kaka with a 6 shot. Still alive back under the tower. He'll survive, and Mind Control is his TP. Nothing to cancel it, so he'll get out. Kaka's done just a little bit too far off. And Liquid really looking to make up for that. GH maybe getting a little tired, meant to blink to crush, and it never came.
That was 100%. I'm positive that was a bait from Liquid to keep Miracle in the front lines, because GH could just blink crush the Bat Rider the moment the lasso came out, and he didn't get the blink off. Must maybe had it on the wrong hotkey. We're gonna see it here. So they jump Miracle, GH. And that's an infested Lifestealer as well. So Lifestealer now gets blinked into the fight afterwards. And that was really awkward. So it ends up being a 2-for-2, clearly favoring Newbee when you're this far behind. They catch up a little bit.
Oh, GH. He has a hate rune while being ruptured. This is the worst contradiction of abilities.
I love that stutter step you start doing when you're ruptured in those situations. Like, I need to bring the medicines, but I need to not die.
One step where I'm a slider, I don't step.
So another kill. All right, Newbee are showing signs of life in this game. This game could have already been completely out of control if it was not one of these top caliber teams. They're even going to find Kuro in mid. Another kill.
And they are. able to bring down the Lich. Nature's Prophet, however, now with the Shadow Blade, he's become the Infest bomb, working to bring down Boogie. Boogie doesn't have the life to survive this, trying to go left and right, but that's not you. The Tumberman and Mind Control team up beautifully and find that pickoff. The rest of Newbee now rotate up, and they're looking for the aggressive wards of Team Liquid. But Liquid, very, they're changing that ward position every single time.
And now they're going to go aggressively on mid. Oh, Crush actually connects, but nobody can really follow up on this.
They're looking towards that mid. There is no lasso available. The tower's already taken. So really smart from Liquid. With no Bloodseeker, hard to take the fight. In fact, Team Liquid now turn their attention towards Roshan. This is a very obvious move, however, considering they're doing it underneath that Radiant Observe ward. Quick sentries down, so Newbee will get rid of that high ground vision the Team Liquid have around the pit. So they go for more defensive ward. Roshan's down to 2k. KP, he doesn't have the Firefly. Blinkers up in 1 second time. 1 second will be perfect. But then again, it's already happened. Faith letting it go, but Thomas standing right in front, taking it at the same time. You've got SCC, a perfect start. Troll Warlord's out. Kaka wants his TP. These Ancients are not his friends. That Lich ulti just would not stop the bounce. SCC, he's on the run now. From 2 heroes, about to become 3, but the third doesn't even arrive in time. This leader just does not have the life to survive in the engagements. And Aegis the Immortal remains on Miracle.
This should be the tier 2 as well. Mind Control was out hunting couriers once again. A little bit of duck hunt. Didn't find it this time though. But connects with his team immediately, and here goes the push again. So Liquid, a little bit of a hiccup before, but they've immediately stabilized again, getting the Aegis, now the tier 2, progressing toward even more key items. There's going to be the Desolator will come out for Lifestealer after this tower, making that Lifestealer bomb a lot more dangerous. And they have these 2 ways of jumping in. I think when you're playing Lifestealer, having 2, I generally call them vehicles, is really powerful, because when you're the opposing team, if you're playing against Lifestealer and it's like there's a Lifestealer bomb with Puck, then if you see Puck on the map, you're like, okay, well, that means Lifestealer he can either be infested in this guy that we see, or he's unlikely to jump me. When there's 2 options, whenever Mind Control shows, they need to be scared of GH, and vice versa. So there's no guarantee that Newbee can ever really split. And I think that's such a powerful combination with Nature's Prophet, right? That he can both be the vehicle and the one forcing the split, and then you use Lifestealer together with that. So it's something we've seen historically, quite a lot of games actually, Nature's Prophet and Lifestealer together. It's just a proven combo. It works so well.
So many players missing on the map for Newbee at the moment. The only one that was showing themselves was KP previously. Now SC shows himself up on the top, so Liquid want to work it out. It won't be too difficult. To the top lane and look for that fight. Mind Control, ETP'd in almost on top of his tier 2 tower, just to try and add a little bit of momentum. KP, Firefly is up, already started to TP as Firefly is wearing off. They don't want this fight. Team Liquid just not coming to the engagement fast enough for their liking.
A little bit too early on the opening for Mind Control. I think he wanted that exact thing to happen.
GH, he just found an Invictus in the bottom river, and SCCC is probably the one. Actually, no, they're all backing up. Newbee didn't see this. Their observer wards are mainly focused around Roshan on both the northern side as well as the southwest. So they just they farm in the protected areas, at least the vision areas.
GH, in this room, can't toggle sprint without breaking it.
Oh, he's found a target.
Slowly but steadily just blow up.
Walked up. He doesn't have Invis available, and it really is a blow up.
That's even a Nature's Prophet ultimate connecting there from Mind Control. Very nice timing. Didn't need it, but you know, style points.
Mind Control might even have a crack at KP. Sprout here, just looking for the flying vision on KP. There's more support on the way. GH sprint comes off cooldown, so he'll have that movement speed, but KP wisely playing the mind game. He's got 16 seconds till his TP comes off cooldown, so he blinks and goes deeper into the dire jungle. Even if he does die, he's still wasting time with Team Liquid if they chase him.
How much time is he really wasting, though? That's the question. I mean, they're like, whatever. Let him cut away. I think KP is doing the perfect thing here, trying to bring down.
Oh, wow. He actually could have sniped the courier if he waited half a second longer.
I think he would have died. I'm pretty sure.
In his mind, he thought that. Mind Control. He was looking for the TP. Miracle wrapping around the back. Assassin wears that detection. They actually don't have it yet. It was coming on the courier with the 2 sentry wards. So Kaka, he's wrapping up. The courier's flying in at the moment, but already that tower is gone.
He saw it on the ward. He's gonna get this.
On the way back, he's got the damage. Get ready for res, everybody. Kaka, snipe, boom, ton. 36 people are now happier.
41, I think. I'm slightly happier as well.
Okay, Baby Kaka's not so happy. Faith to the bottom lane. Mind Control's just stalking this Fortress for Maiden. Puts the triggers down. Frostbite. Wrath of Nature bouncing through. Faith, lucky for the moment, tries to cut his way through the trees. There's a couple of one charges. Difficult to run on that bottom lane while Kuro initiates the top. Faith will still actually successfully TP out of that bottom lane fight. While Liquid were looking for the real big initiation up on top. They'll force the issue anyway in a bit. Miracle has that BKB to come.
I think we're approaching the point when Newbee have their best chance of the game, apart from that one early fight they took that was good. They almost have the Radiance on Bloodseeker, and Lina is close to... I mean, he's not going to get the full Bloodstone probably in time for that, but he could maybe have the Soul Booster, so they have something to fight back with. They're not going to win by just sitting in their base. Like, and at the same time, it's so scary to come out. That's the power of Liquid's strat, but you've got to play to your strengths. So I think Newbee, they'll get this Radiance, they'll try for a smoke play, see if they can get a couple of picks or maybe even a full-on team fight. And if that doesn't work, they might just end up conceding the game. Because I think if they lose this next fight, they're going to lose their base, more than likely.
Yeah, and they're aware of that. So everything that they can do, pickoffs to try and delay the fight, get their better items before Team Liquid come high ground. That's what they have to look for. But Liquid are just always together now. 5 heroes, 1 infested inside the Slanner. Nyx Assassin gets some good vision now. Kuro, Miracle, and Mind Control all visible. Kaka needs a good opening, but they've already lost KP. So the opening is gone. The Blink Lasso and then Kaka selling the back line was the best way Newbee could have begun this fight, but it's too late now. As Liquid banned down this bottom lane. No Agency Ball and Miracle, but the BKB is ready to be popped.
100 volt for Radiance. He got it there. That blood rate. He's going to buy that, send it out to himself.
Waiting. He's holding on to his buyback. Nyx Assassin. He's the one that initiated on. Spike Campus creates a little bit more space. Can't get the stun. The Laguna Blade does pop the Slanner, so his amplification is gone. The Mind Control with his own BKB up and running. He's already beaten the crap out of the tower. Live Stealer stunned up from SDCCC, but he doesn't have enough damage. Without the Laguna Blade, they cannot pop that armor toggling Live Stealer. The Blood Right will force Team Liquid back as a tier 3 tower limping alive.
And now he's going to buy the Radiance. So Liquid backing off. Mugi feels like, okay, they can't go immediately again. Chose to hold on to the buyback as you mentioned. I think that could have been a moment of opportunity, to be honest. Like, Liquid had 3 heroes dropping below half, so the Bloodseeker was getting really fast, and if he has a Radiance there and they connect on literally any spell, he could maybe get in and get some damage off. With Sardar dead, his Bloodseeker is not that instant of a kill anymore without that amplification for its pace, but it's very clear how Newbee stand mentally in this game. They feel very pressured.
They need KP. Like,
here we go.
There's so much pressure on KP to get that Blink Lasso, because then they can just focus one target, pick him off straight away. They want to be Miracle, so that BKB never comes into play. Smoke, oh, Nyx Assassin, again, great vision up from him. He'll come underneath the Dire Sentry Ward, and they'll see he misses the Burrow Strike, and now they jump in, hitting very hard. Slider so low, he will fall the lasso. They're pushing the Troll Ball on, up on the cliff. KP successful with that, while the Rupture on the backline's Mind Control. BKB won't protect you from this. Mookie, he's got the damage output, but not when he's getting Frost Blast down on 98. Matoma needs to hit, able to do so. 3 heroes lost and Miracle clipped.
Oh, what a nice view.
He gives the TP scroll over. That's
looking down. Great, just yelling from distance. Great job, team.
Like, Kuro, you must do your job as a support. Please send me a TP scroll ASAP.
So that fight, I think, could have maybe gone different if Bloodseeker got the last hit, but Lina took the kill, so the Bloodseeker didn't heal up, and then Matoma just walks in and gets that kill. At the same time, though, if this jump from GH connects, I think it's just an absolute trashing, but he was guessing for the Nyx. He didn't have the information. Misses the stun, they instantly kill him. Shrine even actually looked at it. Maiden just gets 2-shot by Lifestealer.
Oh, we can come back live as Team Liquid pushing into the bottom lane. Troll Ball on, the dust is up, they have the vision. Laguna Blade's available, they're saving it. They don't need it to get this kill on Troll Ball on. And now it's Team Liquid on the run. GH is arriving and so is Nature's Prophet. Infest up, they're going in once more. Blink, looking for the crush, the Frostbite, perfect coming from Faith, creating space. It's still the Troll Ball on down. The Courier is the only thing for the Radiant side to die until Faith then follows it into the grave. Lifestealer, you've got to keep that detection up. Sentry Ward is down. The Glimmer Cape of Kuro really causing problems for Newbee to commit in these protection items. The Matoma, oh no, the Lincoln Spear! He had it up, KP blinked it, he was looking for the Lasso. Lasso is the thing to trigger the Lincoln Spear, and now it's 4 heroes down. I don't know if Newbee can really repel this. They may even lose SCCC. Mind Control DKB protect himself from the Light Strike Array, and now he'll die. The denial from the Bloodstone, but this is not the position Newbee thought they were going to have. They were the ones to get the initial kill. And now they're losing 2 lanes of Brax.
Liquid showing really good fighting understanding here. They lose their troll, and a lot of teams will be like, all right, we lost our Kara, we gotta back off. But they played the high ground advantage very nicely. They get the turnaround with the quick and fast play, and just understand that in this position they can win the fights 4 on 5 or 4 on 4 at the very least if the right abilities have been used. And that's going to be 2 lanes of barracks here toward the end of a quick game 1. Unless Newbee pull off some absolutely miraculous smoke play.
And GG,
they don't.
They know it's over. You've lost 2 lanes of Brax. Liquid showed the lower bracket matchup that they would hold their advantage. They would keep this split push going and bleed Newbee dry. Instead, Newbee tap out and pushes into game 2.
So this is where we're going to need to see how the teams adapt. They tried to.
Ya, game pertama. Vote. Lah, Miracle malah tumpah aman. Ya, game pertama sudah kelar. GG langsung berhasil di red bottom dan top dari tim dia memilih Fed langsung menang. GG 1-0 untuk tim Liquid. Game pertama berhasil diambil alih dan yang kita apakah game 2, 3, 4 akan menjadi menarik ataukah akan tetap dipertahankan oleh tim Liquid sendiri. Ini kita lihat dari hasil sendiri sama Miracle di mid lane kita compare dengan SJJJ sebenarnya itu game sendiri sangat jauh antara kita di 46 sebelumnya juga beda 100 ya sebelumnya karena model farmnya sendiri kan jauh berbeda. Kita lihat saja dari item itu Lina sendiri masih item hero scripture dan monster meskipun dari segi harga terus sudah masuk dari final dan hero scripture cuman dari item dan levelnya 15 dan itemnya ini sudah biasa dan sendiri udah bisa keren 2 atau 3 yang kedua yaitu hard carry-nya sendiri itu life stealer dan blue seeker. Perbedaan juga cukup bagus antara 379 dengan 562 itu udah jadi. Nah, ini item yang menarik sebenarnya itu life stealer itu link spear. Salah satu alasan kenapa pakai link spear itu untuk menghindari rupture dari seeker sendiri. Kalau misalnya di target rupture kan ini adalah target utama dari hero lawan itu kill carry-nya. Salah satu target makanya ketika untuk mengcounter seeker sendiri ya kita lihat dia beli item spear secara posisi aman untuk mengcounter 2 atau 3 skill. Misal dia bisa mengcounter dari lasso Blade Rider ataupun frostbite dari CM. Nah, Lina pun bisa di-counter dari skill. Ini salah satu drama meskipun dia punya skill skill 1 yang cukup menarik. Kita lihat dari perbedaannya. GPM-nya ya beda 200 antara kiri. Terus kita lihat dari offlaner-nya mereka, offlaner-nya dia ini Blade Rider secara big hero-nya, terus yang offlaner-nya ini main control. Perbedaannya sangat ya. Main control sendiri semenjak dia pakai Invictus di TI ini GPM-nya sendiri itu tidak pernah jatuh dan agak menarik permainan dari main control sendiri dibanding beberapa pemain yang pernah kita lihat yang pakai Nitro ya dia permainan ini. Terus blockingnya ketika dia melakukan ganking ataupun pushing terhadap hero kill dia Liquidnya itu mantap. Jadi kita bisa lihat dari di replaynya tadi, gameplaynya. Terus kita lihat dari round 4-nya. Round 4 itu semi support. Semi supportnya dia itu Nix, dan di sini semi supportnya dia Sladar GH. Ya, item untuk semi support sendiri ini sudah termasuk item core ya untuk semi support. Cuman ini item core-nya dia belum dapat. Dia baru dapat 1 Arcane Boot. Terus kita lihat dari CM-nya sendiri, CM udah dapat item core-nya 1. Di sini kita lihat core-nya dia sudah dapat 2. Ini item yang sangat membantu sebenarnya untuk di LGD Gaming. Lihat ataupun dia ketika kiri ataupun 3 core-nya untuk Lena, Roblena, dan Seflena itu kena haras dari teman ini sangat membantu untuk ya memberi aman biasa support sering memainkan sesuatu. Kemudian dari Thor harganya hampir 20.000, hampir 20 ya, sekitar 17 kan mungkin ya. Dan sendiri yang penting itu makan tren untuk paham karena itu sendiri kita lihat dari midnya menit awal of bit jadi menit 4 ini sudah menit 2 dengan info mana sih Blade of Fnatic best spot di menit 5 dia udah botol. Nah, salah satu mungkin keterlambatan lainnya karena dia buru botol, sedangkan siapa Miracle itu nggak butuh item yang kayak botol, hanya dia cepat farming. Sudah jadi dengan sebelah ya sebuah match yang menarik untuk pertandingan pertama, di mana berhasil dimenangkan oleh tim Liquid. Big hero yang sungguh menarik. Big hero-nya supportnya itu mereka bermain ya agak untuk safety ya, safety dan easy harass. CM dan Lich ya termasuk damage tinggi ketika harassment di awal. Ini juga termasuk magical yang bagus lah. Terus di Newbee juga sebenarnya bagus untuk CM, cuman agak kurang mungkin permainannya agak kurang bagaimana ya, karena dari permain hero sendiri saya pikir ini bagus lah. Di awalnya pun Bloodseeker memimpin untuk Lasit, sedangkan Matum Baman itu agak kerepotan, mereka berganti role berganti lane. End control lari ke top, terus Matum Baman turun ke safe lane offlaner untuk mau turun ke F. Tadi sudah bisa farming, Mix, dan Bloodseeker tetap di safe lane. Jadi mereka sama-sama di safe lane, hard kirinya mereka sama-sama safe lane. Ya, farming dia yang bagus di awal, meskipun kena ganking dan skor awalnya sampai 1-6 luar biasa. Plus buat tim Liquid untuk game pertama. Nah, kita tunggu nanti di game kedua. Ya semoga sampai sudah melihat permainan hari. Kita lihat anak-anak taksi ada posting-posting di taksi. Ya lumayan. Mereka lagi ngebully tim Liquid. Nah, tim Liquid itu ya gitu. Kita tunggu game kedua. Game kedua antara tim Liquid melawan Newbee. Nah, tenang saja. Betul-betul terhibur saya. Satu malam menonton Liquid gitu. Rasanya kita bisa melihat sebuah permainan yang berbeda yang ditampilkan. Betul-betul berkelas dan tim Liquid sangat-sangat berkelas. Tapi enak kalau ada yang teman lagi. Ada juga yang mau teman lagi. Di sini ada Dayat. Siapa lagi ya? Tim Liquid the best. Liquid. Wah, tidak kelihatan. I'm the best. Oh, tim. Begini dia dulu. Putkin. Kadin. Oh, dia tiga juga ini agak kurang bersinar sekarang. Meskipun awal-awal sebelum mereka muncul, mereka muncul itu di MMR sekitar 9k ya. W33 lama mendominasi di Eropa, tertinggi dan akhirnya digeser sama Batman yang spam hero Spectre setelah berhasil ngalahin kembali Batman. Hero karya permainan yang apik juga di awal-awal di W33, akhirnya W33 di kontak dan muncullah satu nama itu Miracle. Setelah di review nonton apa semua pemainnya waktu itu habis Miracle W33 itu juga pemain Mipo ya sebelum Invictus mungkin ya Invictus sudah terkenal lama kan. W33 kemarin agak menarik ketika bermain makronya, terus cara kombonya atau pilihnya masih menarik juga sih. Dan ketika kalau misalnya pakai kode juga metode kombonya sih kayaknya mungkin juga nama Miracle sampai sekarang Miracle betul-betul amazing bro. Ya, kita tunggu game kedua antara tim Liquid melawan Newbee. Skor sementara 1-0 tim Liquid. Sungguh sangat mengasihkan. Ya meskipun harus ke luar kota sih sebentar dan belum tidur, wah sumpah ngantuk, tapi demi namanya nonton Grand Final TI terus menampilkan live kepada teman-teman pecinta Dota ya, mungkin alhamdulillah kalau misalnya dia nonton hanya untuk berbagi lah kita bisa. Jadi semoga bisa sesuatu ada orang di jalan dan sempat juga Dotanya game dan nonton secara langsung turnamennya, kita sajikan di sini di YouTube live langsung per game mulai dari game 1 sampai game 5 insyaallah. Kita akan kawal, kita akan lihat dari semoga juga kita bisa lihat sebentar apa penyerahan dia semoga ya, kita lihat aja ntar kalau misalnya yang kedua mungkin akan mulai dari semenit lagi ya, semenit lagi kita cari kali aja ada yang nonton pagi-pagi begini, kira ngapain selain nonton gitu? Ini enggak ada. Kalau ada ya, semoga ada. Ngirim di Dota 2 Indonesia agak susah juga. Saya udah coba kirim berapa kali ke sini, tapi nggak pernah tembus di Dota 2 Indonesia. Ya, semoga kita mampu coba bersama. Soalnya kita targetnya untuk berbagi. Terima kasih atas sekali. salah ini konsepnya. Nah udah, kita ke game kedua antara tim Liquid melawan tim
Radiant team banned.
Selamat menikmati
Okay, it's a new
Walk
right
me
now.
through that. Make it explicit for all the non-professional players out there.
I don't know. Craig, would you like to explain?
I mean, I think this Legion Commander hero is a hero that the Chinese teams have liked a lot. I think it's pretty exclusive with Lich. There might be something to it against Venomancer. It's a pretty okay lane matchup against Venom, so I'm guessing that's their idea. I think the good thing about Liquid's opener is that they have two heroes that they've played in multiple roles. They can enable each other in the way that Mind Control can play this Venomancer. Because GH plays Shaker, then he can block the offlane wave and this Venom is enabled. So for Liquid, the difference between Liquid's first two in this game and Newbee's last game is that their draft is open. And I think if you want to, if I go from the assumption that they took second pick, this is what you need to abuse, because if you run into the second phase where you have to show your course, you're going to get counterpicked. But this way they kind of avoid it, so it's a good opener from Liquid.
We've been talking about all of these heroes that are good versus summons. Shaker, the one that Team Liquid have been going to. Legion Commander actually not that bad of a matchup versus Nature's Prophet, but I think overall the playstyle from Nature's Prophet too good in Liquid's hands. And yeah, it is one of the few heroes that can stand toe-to-toe versus Venom in lane.
You know who's really good against summons currently? It's Winter Warvin.
Yeah. Can't argue with that.
The Newbee could have used it last game, to be honest. I was talking to Craig and he thought that was a real good pick there.
This isn't even for the memes, but I think
he actually
when they picked Crystal Maiden, I was thinking to myself, this is where they should pick Winter Wyvern. And I know the hero hasn't had a lot of success, and I know there's a lot of memes about it.
It has not had success.
Yeah,
but
I
think you have to look at the games, because one of the games we played against Liquid in the group stage, we were playing with Bad Rider and Winter Wyvern, and the Wyvern, the way it works against Liquid, especially against this Nature's Prophet, is that it gives you a support that can push out waves, and it's also a strong laner. Most supports can't really match up against Nature's Prophet on lanes, but what Wyvern does is that he moves between lanes instead. So I thought it was an interesting idea, but this game obviously no Nature's Prophet, so I doubt they will even be thinking about it.
Yeah. You see the Morphling ban, and there was some intimidating Morphling play out of Miracle in this tournament, and well, I guess, you know, fourth ban on the Coddle and on the Dazzle. This Dazzle pick is, this Dazzle ban is kind of interesting to me.
Dazzle is a straight up counter to Legion Commander, because you want to duel and burst someone, but Dazzle just graves you.
Oh, of course.
And so the entire duration of duel is a bit less than the Dazzle grave duration, so it's like a straight up counter. And I just feel like Liquid could probably use some lane pressure, and Dazzle is lane pressure, I think. It's not like they should ban it.
Now, Ancient Apparition is an interesting pick in Team Liquid's history because they have been first banning it most of the time in their lower bracket run back.
Yeah, I think the reason why Newbee banned these two heroes were because they know that Liquid have to pick a position 5 first thing in the next in this phase, because they're gonna probably assume that this Shaker is gonna be GH, but they don't know if this Venom is gonna be, like, which core it's gonna be. They know it's gonna be a core. So Liquid basically have no reason to show a core on this third pick, and they decided to pick AA. It could have been Dazzle, was probably the best option, and then I think they banned Coddle because of the comfort. And then I think AA is just as good as the others, honestly, but it's hard for Newbee to ban out all the good position 5s right now.
Now, in terms of those cores, what do you see coming forward down the line from Newbee? What types of cores are they going to be exploring?
It could be an AM game. You guys love AM versus Venom.
I think
so far it's okay.
Yeah, but everyone on the team feels like that Shaker is a direct counter to AM. And if you add AA with that, I think it's not the dream AM game.
But I think there's a difference between playing AM against the support Shaker and a mid lane Shaker. Because what we would like to do against AM if we had Venom and Shaker is that we would put Shaker mid, because the physical burst is really good against AM. So Newbee picked Sanking here, which is what they're probably supposed to do. They needed to pick some position 4 because they don't know the cores of Liquid yet. And this is where Liquid, they kind of have to pick a core, commit to something. It could be
That's actually, I don't know if that's a really good thing.
I think what they're thinking is that they don't want this Venomancer to lane against Legion Commander. So most likely what's going to happen is that they're going to put this Venomancer in Mind Control, put him offlane,
and then this Necrolite is going to go safe lane against Legion, which is probably a lane that they think is good. I'm not sure how it goes with Lich on the lane as well. Could be a bit hard.
So we have some nice ability to catch with Sand King's stun, Legion Commander's ultimate duel.
I think from what I've seen from Liquid, actually, they played yesterday. They banned AA twice. That was against LGD, I think. I'm not sure. I think it was LGD, but they banned the AA twice in the first phase, and both those games they went for some heroes that are like countered by AA. They went for Necrophos in one game, and the other game they went for Husker, I think. So this game they picked the AA and they picked the Necrophos. So they're abusing that this hero is not available for Newbee.
Newbee picks Claw.
10 seconds.
I don't know. It does not look like a very good call.
No, but I think the reason why they pick Bomb here is because they have to pick their mid hero before Liquid shows theirs. And I think they're scared of picking getting a bad matchup mid. But when you have Queen of Pain, the chances of you having a good matchup is pretty high. And they had to pick it before Liquid anyway. So basically, they know that Liquid's last hero is going to be a miracle hero that's going to go mid. 10
seconds remaining.
I guess it's one of the finest heroes to put mid against Liquid. But they like to play
yeah, they like to play around mid. So it's good to have a mobile hero there.
Last ban is Weaver for Team Liquid. Still no 5th ban from Newbee. And we've seen Team Liquid do really powerful last picks. Are there any big standouts for Team Liquid that you think are significant threats Newbee needs to look out for?
I think Miracle might just go and be like, pick me in mid.
Yeah, I could see that happen. I think that this is the hardest part when you play against Liquid and they have last pick, is that they have a lot of options on that pick. They can play like most mid heroes mid, and they can play a lot of safe laners mid as well. So it's really hard to predict what they want to go for. I think Newbee just have to take like just think of the worst hero for them. Like, what's the worst hero that Liquid could pick, and they just have to ban it, even if they don't think it's that possible, because it's gonna happen. Liquid know what heroes are good for the game.
What are some of those worst heroes?
It's hard to say this game. I think if you play against this team, I would probably say Anti-Mage, because it's a comfort hero for them, and they have the heroes that can create space for him. It's a decent lane against Bob, so I think maybe Anti-Mage. They ban Lycan. Not sure why they would ban Lycan.
Yeah, it looks like a really
It's a good anti-mage game. I think it makes perfect sense for them because they know the Shaker is going to be support, and they see Necrophos and Venomancer. 2 cores that are not very good against anti-mage.
Yeah, once mid-game kicks in, Lich, Legion Commander, Sand King, and Queen of Pain can do all sorts of attempts at ganking, bombing in, trying to get pickoffs, while anti-mage sits back and comfortably farms.
Yeah, one thing Newbee changed this game is that they have a lot of low pressure.
Alright. We have seen Team Liquid in this situation before. Their Alchemist against an anti-mage. We've also seen Team Liquid in their last 2 games put up dominating performances in the first 5 minutes. And the question on everyone's mind is, can Newbee pull it together and succeed in Game 2? Let's find out. Take it away, Toby.
You know, no team has ever lost the winners bracket quarterfinal, made the lower bracket run, and won a grand final at TI. No player has won TI multiple times, and no brand has actually won TI multiple times. We get to scratch a couple of these things off at the end of this grand final, but who will it be? This draft looks a lot more balanced, to at least give us a good contest.
Yeah, I think Newbee made the necessary adjustments based on game number 1. I like, as much as the panel were uncertain about this Legion Commander pick, I like the idea of just having something stronger in lane. They have Lich and Legion as their first 2 picks. To me, that just screams out, okay, we got destroyed in lanes, we can't let it happen again. So they've solved that. Now Liquid are taking a bit of a slower approach in this game, a bit more greedy, which they also are very good at playing with this Necrophos and Alchemist. But Newbee, I think, made the right preparation into that last phase, getting the anti-mage pick that the panel thought would be great for Liquid. They steal it themselves and set themselves up for what I think could be a pretty good Newbee game. The challenge here is to shut down the Alchemist. If Alchemist doesn't have a good game, I'm all Newbee on this one. But do they have the right heroes for it? They at least have the Lich.
Yeah,
to start.
They had the Lich to at least balance out the lane, and maybe that's when we start to see the movement of Karga being one of the other critical points. You don't have that Invis hero like we saw Bounty Hunter messing around with Alchemist in the previous match. The playoff. So you get Alchemist and how well can Newbee control it and potentially win this game 2 and force us into almost a best of 3 situation, you can describe it as.
It's going to be really interesting to see what goes down here. Also, something that Newbee secured themselves in this game that they didn't have in the last game. I think when you have a player like STC, you want to make sure he gets a good start. I think they sacrificed him way too hard mid in the last game. Arguably, maybe they didn't even have a choice, but his lane just went way too bad, and this time they have given him a strong laner in the Queen of Pain, one of his absolute best.
Kuro puts down the Observer Ward. He'll actually break each other's smokes, and Kaka wants to go on the run. There's a Boots first SK, and yeah, they do throw down the Sentry Ward, so they're going to give Queen of Pain the extra money and the vision advantage in mid. You wanted SCC to have a really fantastic lane in mid. Now you've lost that Observer Ward that's meant to gain it, and the other Observer Ward's already been placed up on the northern side to save mind control on that off lane. And mind control's going to have a hard time against Mugi. Mugi's preparing himself for a lot of damage. PMS and 4 tangos is his way to start in that top lane.
Yeah, this is, in my book, a very anti-mage favorite lane when he has the safe lane and Venom's off lane. I don't think if this is even just a flat-out isolated one-on-one, Mugi will be able to take control of this lane fairly quickly. Now, something I would like to see Faith do in this game for Newbee is it looks like he's going to start dual offlane with Legion. In the past, we've seen something like Warlock Legion, Commander Lane, Dazzle Legion be very powerful. I think
Mind Control.
Let's go Blink and get out.
Actually, yeah, there's no Gale. I thought for a moment they might have committed that, but Mind Control, he's looking for the chip damage to start with.
That's decent, though. Even forcing him to skill Blink here is going to make Mind Control's laning situation a lot better, because AM wants to skill Mana Break and use that Sand King stun to pressure the Venomancer in lane. Now that Kuro is there and they have this dual lane set up, they'll be doing fine. So what I would like to see from Newbee is this Legion Commander will get some help in the bottom from Lich. I think Lich should double down on this mid. I think they should really try to destroy Alchemist as much as they can. And then if Legion suffers a bit against Necro, then so be it. I think Legion will actually be just fine in that matchup for quite a while. One of the more sustainable heroes, but they look to contest Matumba Man as their first priority so far.
Yep. This will also allow KP to ensure his farm on this bottom lane, maybe rushing that timing of the Blink Dagger so they can get the jump initiation, control the Alchemist earlier on, because they don't have that straight up initiation just yet. GH has all the initiation he wants, especially with SCC. He doesn't actually have his Blink available, so runs around the corner. Still a Shadow Strike available, so he can actually do some return damage into GH if he likes. But he's got a creep wave coming, he wants to wait for it.
He wants to do the damage. If he's spending mana in this lane, he wants to go into that Alchemist.
Kaka, oh, they're body blocking Kuro. Mugi blinked in front of him, so the blink actually works to get close towards Kuro. Now he has level 2, so mana breaks available. Kuro's on the run, wants to try and juke at the Fog of War, it won't be successful. Newbee, this time around, they'll be the ones to spill first blood, and it goes to an anti-mage.
Very good start for the AM in that regard. Has 0 CS, however. Still not a single creep being brought down by Mugi. That's the benefit of this aggressive dual lane that Liquid ended up putting. Kuro will die, but so far so good still for Liquid's game plan, I feel. The Alchemist is having a good start in the mid lane, and apart from Kuro's death, they're just fine.
Matumba, Faith wants to block him. You got the Frost Blast off cooldown right now. Matumba can't make his way back through the tree line. KP, he actually blocked it perfectly, and Newbee to get another kill onto the opposite lane core.
I wonder if Matumba could have survived that if he used his wand and his Fairy Fire. Maybe he could have gone into the trees and salved up, but decided to hold on to them. Probably felt like there was no way he was going to survive that at all. And will be killed off. So let's see what the Lich does now. I still have my eyes on Faith. It tells a lot about Newbee's approach to the game, which lane they send this Lich to. GH will steal the Bounty Rune, one of the benefits of Shaker, this ability to block off
mid lane. Miracle. All right, very, very dead. Kaka was rotating in, but 2 points up in the Shadow Strike with no regeneration for an Alchemist, and that 3 armor points. And not enough to actually stop the Queen of Pain from finding the kill. I think for the first time in this series, the China crowd have finally gotten a voice.
Yeah, they get a bit to cheer for here as STC gets to play Dota. It's gotta feel nice, you know. Last game he couldn't really do much on his Lina, got shut down very hard. This time around he is on the dominating side. Full level ahead now with Queen of Pain against Alchemist.
Matumba taking
a hard time.
Matumba's taking a hell of a lot of damage on bottom. Frost Blast plus level 2 up in the overwhelming odds. And KP's happy to keep aggressive with that Frost Armor on him. GH and Matumba can't really turn around a fight. But I am really just wondering, how long do you keep Faith here? How long until you bring him up to the top lane and relieve this pressure which is so heavily on the anti-mage?
I think AM can fend for himself when he gets a Quelling Blade, but Mugi was forced to buy this Ring of Health first so he can even sustain. He will be losing CS for a while yet, but the Anti-Mage versus Venomancer matchup is not too bad. We could see Mugi take a page out of Burning's book and maybe get multiple points in Spell Shield, something we've seen Burning do before. Widely considered the most influential Anti-Mage player of all time. So
And he'll need it against this toxic offlane of Mind Control, and there's double the toxicity. You're running both Orb of Venom plus the Poison Sting on Mind Control.
He is going to level up on a break though, so still holding on to the more aggressive approach, where if Kaka comes in and has a bit more health than this, maybe they can turn it into a play now. Top rune?
Yeah, the curry is coming. Okay, well, Kaka, that's a little bit mean. SCCC could have, in fact, bottled up completely and then grabbed the Invis rune.
Well, yeah, it's a lot of time to wait. I think they were worried that the rune was going to get contested. Kaka also gets his Tranquils from the courier, so he will get full health anyway and can look to make a move. So Miracle is done with mid. He's just done. And going to retreat into that jungle. There's a double stack.
What a perfect time to have an Invis rune.
Yeah,
if Miracle's going to go jungle, Kaka can just walk up behind him. Miracle is bottling up, but he's still going to take considerable damage. It's a level 2 Burrow Strike. There is no Sandstorm, so Kaka will have to rely on just his normal damage. He can leech in the meantime. And if Miracle does the math, maybe he can work out that an SK is on top of him. Kaka. Thought he was looking for Curry for a second. He'll go for the Burrow Strike. SCCC! He was moving off the mid lane, no warning bells flagging up for Miracle, and the Alchemist dies while farming.
SC was just waiting to get that level 6 so he could come down for the Sonic. Getting another big kill, so much better start this time around for Newbee.
This is the advantage though for Kuro. He's able to get rid of that Observer Ward nice and early on. So Alchemist cannot be watched as closely as he was previously. He's already gone off the other lane anyway.
So look at what Liquid have done to adjust. I don't know if this is the right approach. They've sent Matumba Man into mid because he was struggling bottom and they want the Alchemist to jungle, so this is the lane with the most experience. They want to have core there, but this Necro is level 4 and he's going to lane against an almost level 7 Queen of Pain in an already Queen favorite matchup. This is almost impossible. Any rotation in from these supports in the Dire will either kill Matumba or send him back to base. He needs to be very careful with how he plays this lane matchup, as KP is just, you know, fine with facing anyone bottom. He's Legion Commander. It's a great lane no matter what.
You'll send in another Shaker in here. Okay, yeah, he's going to beat into Faith. Kaka wants to help him out, but here comes Moogie. Burn him off. They deny him up as well. Mind Control can't even find that kill with all these friendly Plague Wards around him. They cannot save his life.
All right, Newbee woke up, man. This is something else.
This feels like the shoes on the other foot. Yeah. Team Liquid were doing this to Newbee in game 1, and now game 2 comes around, and everything is going up Newbee. And KP's looking for that level 6. This is why GH is so scared. He doesn't know when KP's going to crack that level 6, and Duel becomes available. Then the Earthshake is gone.
Now the challenge for Newbee in this game is to do something similar to what Liquid did in the last, which is win the lanes and then keep the pressure on. You need to keep finding kills. Since Liquid losing the lanes is okay in this game to an extent, because their Alchemist, if he is farming, can overtake the game. But it's gonna be a while before that's a possibility, and Newbee will want to get into this Radiant jungle, prevent it from stacking and farming.
The smoke gang. Mind Control's dead. He has no way to get back off this top lane. Burrow Strike, a level 1 Ice Blast, and Moogie blinks forward, but the Burrow Strike holds Mind Control in position. He'll get a Gale onto Toothsome, some damage back in return, but Moogie kill secures with the Mana Void. Team Liquid were looking for a gang to go a different direction. In fact, they were waiting on bottom, moving the Ancient Apparition down south to help out the Earthshaker in preparation for KP's attack, but it never came.
In the meantime, the Alchemist is still farming. This is the hero to look out for. I say this.
Wait, does SC kill mid? He's got Blink and Sonic Wave available, and Matomaman's got 350 HP.
If he knew he was here, he would have right talking about. That's a lot of
Okay, yeah, sorry. I forgot it's a Necro in mid.
Curse Shrouds, 17 sticks.
Oh, but still! SC didn't forget anything! He did the math, he was looking at it. It's like, yep, heal down, nuke up.
Yep, that's that matchup for you. Queen of Pain is 3 levels above him. Matumba Man heals up to full and dies from full. So, well, what are you gonna do? Miracle is still farming, and this is an Alchemist game. Alchemist is the centerpiece of the draft. He's picked last. They're trying to set up to give him a good game, and he is the hero to look out for.
He still is top net worth of 4,400, 4,500, but Kaka and Faith looking to change around the balance a little bit more, rotating down towards the bottom lane. Don't have the vision on GH, the tree line making it troublesome, but some of it also rotating over. He'll be a couple of points away from having that level 6, wants the ultimate, but thanks to press the attack from Kaka, from KP, Kaka can back off. And they're actually bringing SDCC down to the bottom lane. picking up an illusion rune. Okay, no, he's just coming for the rune only. No one's defending mid. They understand Liquid have numbers somewhere. They want to see where they are first.
It's a really good point, though, that there's no Bounty Hunter in this game. I think that was a very clever pick in that series. Was it the lower bracket semis, I think? In which a team playing against Alchemist, it was LGD who ran the Bounty Hunter and Ursa, so they countered the Alchemist in lane, and then they countered him in game plan as well. And I'm not seeing the exact same thing out from the Newbee side. They have the Anti-Mage who will like to farm just like Alchemist will, and generally that gives Alchemist more space because that 5th hero can't really join. But they don't have like the scout, so they want to send in heroes to at least get wards out, and that's exactly what Kaka and Faith are doing right now.
They found their target. There's no level 6 on the Lich. The Courier's going to come up.
Oh my god!
And the Courier might save it. Fate's attack will follow through. The Courier lives on 12 HP. He is actually the one thing that Liquid has that can potentially survive on this map. SC wants to have another crack at Miracle. Chemical Rage will wear off in a second. And Kaka and Faith, well, if you can't kill Couriers, try the Alchemist. That's a good option. Burrow Strike forward. SCCC, he does have the Sonic Wave available. Another Shadow Strike. Miracle's Chemical Rage is gone. And with the armlet up, they're not taking the chance here, Newbee. They want to keep pressuring the towers and gaining control of this map.
He's a very difficult kill now. The fact that he got to this armlet sub 10 is good and very important for Liquid. That's still the one thing they really are holding onto in this game, as their other cores are not having that great of a time. Mind Control has recovered fairly nicely, went for the phase boots in that top lane and max plague wards, but at the same time that also means his mana sustain is pretty weak. He's actually running out of mana now, has to go back toward his shrine. Well, actually, he's going to place a defensive plague, get some nice info out. Miracle doesn't care, he's going to run in.
Yeah, he's fine.
Get off my lawn, man. This is my jungle. This is the area Alchemist wants, but it's warded up very nicely.
Yep. Yeah, Newbee watched to the north as well as to the south, but the funny thing is that there's tools also...
You got a haste. It's not easy being AA when there's a hasted level 10 co-op coming at you.
Well, it's a little easier when you got the Observer Ward down, so SCC thinks he can go on mid. GH in the neighborhood has Echo Slam available. Wants the creep wave to beat it, however. Now he'll run out. Vision to start with. Echo Slam! The damage ripples out to the Queen of Pain, but the stun does not.
Just barely out of range of that Aftershock. The 300 radius, I think we're talking 10s there for SC, but far enough away for that not to connect. I wonder if it would have even been a kill. Miracle didn't have concoction skill, so I don't know if the follow-up would have been enough.
You do have that plus 10 strength on SCCC.
Yeah, it's the standard top skill to take on level 10. It's very powerful. This hero, one of its weaknesses is the low health pool that it has, and it wants to itemize mostly items that don't give that much health in the beginning of the game. So the fact that you can skill this 10 strength talent has helped Queen of Pain a lot in terms of becoming a top-tier pick.
Kuro is looking for this Observer Ward, but again, a lot of variation in the Observer Wards coming out. This time is from Newbee. They're a little bit further down, so Newbee can still watch when Team Liquid move further east inside their own jungle. In fact, now realizing that there's only Matumbaman on the bottom, KP has Blink Dagger up. He wants to go for a quick jump, needs the vision on Matumbaman. Their Observer Wards don't exactly see that. And in fact, the Observer Ward from Liquid sees the fact that Faith and SCCC have come to the bottom lane, and Matumbaman hides behind the T1 tower.
Liquid are just going to split pressure this map right now with the Venomancer top and 2 additional heroes connecting there. So probably going to see a tower trade. Newbee playing in the Radiant jungle. Alchemist is pretty far away from him, so they won't find him. They were probably hoping to do that.
I feel like we forgot about Mind Control. He's just been sitting up on the top lane, fighting whatever farm he possibly can. His Damwest's not really reflecting it, but now getting a lot of damage into the T1 tower on top. It's a good injection of money for Team Liquid. 2 T1 towers have fallen. Ancient Apparition denied the mid, but Mind Control does get the last hit on the top lane. SCCC will try and even the odds by taking the bottom one.
This is in a way, the only way Liquid could play this game is to use this Venomancer to try to knock down towers and pressure out lanes, because their other heroes are really weak at putting pressure on structures. Alchemist needs to farm, the AA is level 5 and can't really do much. Necropulse got shut down the lane. So, and then you have a support Shaker who has to stand in the backline. So who is actually going to prevent Newbee from just playing their game? It has to be Mind Control. He has to play aggressive like this. He might die once or twice, but somebody's got to do it for Miracle.
Newbee's coming in force. Miracle's going to keep his farm going. The Observer Ward is there. Might give a little bit of extra confidence now. SCCC, he actually has his smoke broken by Matumbaman as they go over the Observer Ward. This may be the best thing Liquid could have seen. Mind Control starting his TP. Kuro will be the sacrificial lamb, and GH as well. The Vision creating a little bit of extra space. Starts his TP, but KP has the tool available. Kaka, Burrow Strike brings the damage up, allowing KP to get the win. plus 10 damage into the Legion Commander, but your 2 supports die for what could have been a hell of a lot worse fight for Team Liquid.
It's space. I think they reacted very well to this smoke gank from Newbee. They saw it coming, they dodged in the correct directions, but realistically they will lose 2 heroes there, and it's the two lowest net worth heroes that they lose. So good job from them dodging. I mean, they didn't really dodge the bullet, but in the sense they did. Alchemist is still farming, but so is Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage had a hard start. 14-minute Battle Fury coming in here for Mugi. Skipped the tread straight into BF. Wants to try to keep up with Alchemist's farm.
You know, it's a fun game too when the crowd is actually applauding a Battle Fury being picked up on the Anti-Mage. Also, Miracle.
Welcome to the new age of Dota.
Just continuously farming up too. I don't know if this is like a lack of confidence or if he just wants it on him, but he bought the Radiance recipe before he bought the Sacred Relic.
It might be some reliable versus unreliable gold thing. Ha, 120 reliable gold and
yeah, this guy's been nowhere. Scythe up on top, GH's damage. It isn't enough
Big kill.
to get the Scythe kill on the Anti-Mage, but the kill does happen nonetheless.
And the kill goes to GH, so he's closing in on his Blink Dagger. I think that was the best hero they could get the kill on, better than the Necro. Necro will have an easier time finding the gold he needs, but this will be, for GH, a relatively slow Blink Dagger, since most of the time when he's Shaker, he's on the pressuring team. But in this game, he couldn't really find many openings. It's his first kill, very unusual for him, 15 minutes in.
Just smart maneuvering from Newbee. And they keep that pressure up, at least inside the Radiant jungle. KP is farming the close camp, which the Alchemist would love to farm. They're normally the safest on the Radiant side because they're near both the Tier 1 and the Tier 2 tower. In fact, the Tier 1's already gone, and the SCCC is running patrol around that tower area. It's not where Liquid want to go. Even Mind Control's forced doing ancient farming / stacking, while Fate, he's standing by himself in the bottom lane, getting all the farm and experience he wants. This is just Newbee owning the map, and now they go for more. The Ice Blast will be nice. Kill already happens, a Miracle will fall. They need a little bit more damage into KP. Neither the Quad or the Legion will shatter to that Ice Blast.
GH was not there. That Newbee saw a moment of opportunity and just pounced on it right away. If the Shaker's there with a defensive fissure, who knows how that would have gone. But Newbee take all the opportunities. It's a 1k gold lead with a 10k with a 10 kill advantage, but that's Alchemist. If you're ahead against Alchemist in 16 like this, you're doing pretty well. And Newbee are in a great position in this game so far.
I still wait to see just how well this Team Liquid defense can work. Because if it works nicely, if GH can finally get that Blink Dagger, like they're looking towards KP, Reaper's Sight is available, Ice Blast is on the way, they just have to hold him there, Vision makes sure of that, KP press the attack, the Scythe is down, not getting the perfect chaining of stuns, but the damage output will allow them to shatter KP on the top. But while this goes on, Newbee pressuring that bottom Tier 2 tower, Catapult is there, but so is Mind Control, hiding behind the tower, starting his defensive Plague Wards. Yep. He's almost got Yule Scepter too, and this is going to come up at the same time as the Orchid. Well, the Orchid's already done on the Queen of Pain. At least it's something where Micah already has the counter, but jump in, he'll get to use it once. And Venomancer will fall, and the Tier 2 tower with him.
So I like this Yule's pickup quite a bit. I think it's nicely multi-purpose in this game. When you get Yules, you generally don't want to have it only for defensive or only for offensive purposes. It's nice when it feels like you can use it very well for both. Offensively, he can try to counter out the Legion in the duel. He can use it to remove the Orchid defensively against the Queen of Pain. And it gives him, obviously, a way of setting up his team. That this Liquid team actually has very little cash. So even using it to set up a fissure can prove to be very useful at later situations in the game. Also, nice mana regen, you know. Then Benno won't have mana problems for the rest of the game, sure.
17 minutes is how long it took for the Alchemist to pick up the Radiance.
That's really slow.
Along with the Armlet.
By Miracle standards. The 3 deaths and the shutdown of the map, he didn't get to free time. And worth noting still is he's the only one having a good time with this team. Everyone else is clearly behind par of what they would like.
They just need space, but they're also fearful to be anywhere on the map. Mind Control just ran into mid, threw out the Venomous Gale and put down the Plague Ward, but he's not staying close enough for the experience, something you want to do as a Venomancer, especially when you have that plus 30% experience gain. You need those levels, they're going to need those big wards up.
It's going to be a while.
It will be.
If he gets to level 25, that's the first good step, I guess.
I'm wondering if he even thinks about going, because he's already picked up the Yule Scepter, so there's a counter to the Silence, which is out. But do you go for what we've seen a couple of Venomancers do, but I think it's been mainly their first item, the Hand of Midas build for a Venomancer?
I think he needs Force Staff. They need some sort of mobility to utilize their other heroes. They can't move their heroes around in the fight. They're going to get caught by these either multi-hero stuns or all this AoE magic burst.
This is really patient. The Blink Dagger is up on the Earthshaker. Kaka is underneath a Radiant Observer Ward. They understand Team Liquid, and Matubberman's playing it so damn cool. He's not attacking. He's waiting for them to get in range. And now, Fissure jump up with the Ice Blast. They'll punish the SK, who all he was doing was being a farm voyeur.
He died. Yeah, it's a big commitment. There was a smoke as well. Smoke kill onto support is generally not the best, but it's something for Liquid defense. And I think there was a bit of two things. First of all, they were just being patient so they could set up the kill, but they had plenty of time to do that. They were trying to get a good read on the map. Did he have anyone behind him? Because else why would he sit there? And they had a lot of time to think it over.
They're backing up to smoke. So they're backed up a decent ways away from any Dire Vision. In fact, right now, Dire Vision is, well, non-existent. I'm looking for an Observe Ward on the map for the Dire, and it just doesn't exist. So Newbee completely blind on the map at the same time that Liquid want to fight. With Radiance armored up, Alchemist has Chemical Rage in 4 seconds. They want to get into battle. You've got Yule Scepter for control. You've got Blink Dagger and Echo Slam also available. Kaka, is it going to be him once again? Blink in from GH. They'll keep the chase zone going. Actually committing the Echo Slam, and they'll side them down. 30 seconds on the sideline for the SK, while KP hiding in the trees. Vortex trying to get vision. He'll blink further up into the trees. Mind Controller some flame wars to throw, but they need that little bit further to the right vision. And they don't have it.
Still got the tower there.
Wait, are they going up? No.
Aggressive move. No. Ill-advised.
Yeah. Anti-Mage is still farming up inside the Radiant jungle. And Team Liquid, they can at least leave the pressure up so Alchemist continue to farm the Dire jungle, but the teams have basically switched neutral camps.
We'll take that.
Miracle created a bit more of a gap there with this play, getting that tower, getting the assist gold. Now he's going to almost have his Manta style, who, well, speaking of which, Mugi has his in about 200 gold on the anti-mage, so big items coming out, but he'll be overtaking him. Oh, I guess AM will be overtaking him if they get one gank on the Alchemist. These Alchemist kills are really important right now. They might try to use the Manta style for it, but if the game is played at this current pace and very slow, Miracle will keep building a further and bigger gap for this anti-mage to try to catch up to. He's currently sitting in bottom, as the rest of his team is posing up top. Look at GH actually just going into Vision.
That's confidence.
That was close.
That's a lot of confidence. Kankri from Burrow strikes. Kuro gets the second TP back out to base, so GH and Kuro is escaping from the lane.
He more or less blink dodged a melee Stream of Pain, or a short-range Stream of Pain, so very close to connecting. If he connects, he's 100% dead. But it wasn't Kaka that found him, it was the Queen who have any instant damage to prevent that blink. So he gets out, and again, space is the name of the game for Liquid. Just keep buying time. And for the first time this game, we might actually see Liquid get ahead on gold in a moment.
It's definitely getting closer. It's sub 1k. The difference between Liquid as well as Newbee. The experience graph, however, is a very different story. Sitting around 7,000 in favor of Newbee, just getting more across the map. Because Anti-Mage loves this. He's still got his mana style. He's good for, not great for fights, he's just good for fights, but good for the push game too. So both Mantas on the one positions.
Newbee went for the attack speed charm of Anti-Mage. I mean, I might be wrong on this, but I think almost everyone takes the blink cooldown to have quicker be able to traverse the map to get some harm, to have more chance of jumping in and out of fights. But it takes 20 attack speed, which is a fairly insignificant amount on a hero that already hits that fast. But, well, I feel like that little bit of extra...
Kaka, gotta get out of there. Sandstorm, Fissure coming in, and he's able to fire a strike up. The Scythe will connect KP, breaking him free with the press the attack. There's still a lot of tick damage on him. KP, maybe it's time to turn and deny him, or you can just let him die.
He can't deny him.
You're right, you can't. No
Gale. They have the other two spells on him, though.
He actually hurts himself by pressing the attack again.
Yeah, if the Gale was on him, then you're right. Then he might have died else. Oh, there goes the bottom tower.
Oh look, Alchemist. Can you press off Gale?
Gale is a special spell, man. Gale is weird. It has like its own subset of rules for how it works. I'm not sure. I don't remember honestly.
We can check later and learn Dota.
Yeah. You can probably press off Gale with beat up. So hard purge works.
Oh. Meanwhile, back at the farm game, Boogie's going to head north. So moving as far away from the rest of Team Liquid as possible, exactly what the Anti-Mage has to do until he feels really ready to fight. At the same time, Miracle We're talking about those early towers going down, item progression, he's looking at Ocarina to come up next. It doesn't really feel too like Team Liquid are going to have a bad time with Miracle getting more and more farm. Almost every single hero has a very good Aghanim Scepter on the Team Liquid lineup. So the longer this game goes, they're going to love it.
Surely scale. Both Necro and Venno are great late game heroes right now. That's it. Get Venno.
The duel onto him. Sonic Wave Kick. It connects down to Kuro. The Lich Chain Frost bouncing down towards Matumba, but the epicenter from Karka not really close enough. And Matumba actually gets a TP out. They look for a different target, and it's GH on the other side of the trees. 3 quick pickoffs. Legion Commander does die for the cause, but potentially opens up Roshan.
Thinking about it,
Look at Ruby actually. I was wondering if he would do this too. Like, you talk about the attack speed. He's going Diffuser Blade as his next core item.
Is a build we see sometimes in AM. In this game, it's great strictly because of the Necropulse. You want to purge off that Ghost Shroud. It's AM's shortcut to just hard countering that hero. We're going to see the smoke here, so it breaks instant duel coming out from the Legion Commander, connecting with Queen. Kuro kind of just died to collateral damage. Who wasn't even the primary target, just got hit by everything on the way there. And a couple nice extra picks for Newbee losing their Legion.
Yeah. Good picks for Newbee. Being that lead, still 15-6. Of course, the kill count is that point when you understand that kills don't mean everything in Dota. Yeah, Newbee had the kill count for 25 minutes in, but it's the gold advantage, which they are barely holding on to, and Liquid are going in for Roshan.
This is a big moment. There's no Sonic Wave and no Chain Frost. Chain Frost actually coming on, and no epicenter. So Liquid, with that last 2-1 fight, the 3 big ultimates were expended.
Do they just not fight then? Or is it... They have to pressure this somehow, even if it's just overwhelming odds. The Plague Wards are causing issues. There's 2 of them on the high ground, and thanks to the Observe Wall that's also planned that Karka's getting rid of, they see a lot. Karka can't blink in. He cannot do that disengage, so he has to jump inside the Sandstorm. Blink will come off cooldown. Roshan's pretty low. They can jump forward. It goes on GH's Earthshaker. Aegis more or in the hands of Miracle and Liquid. Now they have everything they need to win this by the Ice Blast, not the SK, even the side. 3 heroes from Newbee are falling down. GH gets the Echo Slam off, but Newbee, now it's time to fight with their cause, or is it? Moogie backs out towards the Shrine. SCCC can't kill off Kuro. That one tree blocking the vision for him. He'll blink up and away. And the denial is there from Mind Control. The Shadow Strike being on him, not going to do the work. Moogie can't get that kill. The 1 charges, giving the mana back to Matumbaman.
Was that even close?
I am not certain.
Was he close to killing him with that on-avoid, and then suddenly Matsu has 1500 health? I don't think Necro is that broken.
So here's the jump. Surprising Karka didn't even go directly into the pit. He said he tries to hold back GH.
He couldn't blink. He kept getting cancelled by these Plague Wards from the high ground from Liquid, and they are so good when you're taking Roshan. The Plague Ward advantage, they're really helping out Liquid in securing this great play of the game. I think now they're kind of in the driver's seat. They have the Octarine Core and Aegis now on Miracle, and could start looking to siege some buildings if they want to, or keep building up farm, getting some more key items. There's a big item currently flying out to Matumbaman. He's going to get that Lincoln so that he can also put on the Alchemist if he wants to. But Liquid, like you said, maybe they don't even have to try to win with this Alchemist so fast. Like some games it feels like, okay, if Alch doesn't win, eventually the enemy team will overtake him with good late game carries, but not so sure in this one. There's so many good Axe heroes. All of the Liquid lineup uses Axe. The Shaker one is kind of funny more than anything, but the other heroes, it's very powerful on.
Also to note too, maybe the mindset and tempo change up. Matumbaman originally even bought the entire Dagon and then sold it to then move back into the Lincoln Sphere. So they understand you need to survive early on. They make life difficult for Newbee to get initiations. That's what the Lincoln Sphere is capable of doing.
And Anti-Mage did this.
Yep. So Anti-Mage went in for the Lincoln Sphere. Decided to go with that and have the regeneration over having something more like the Aghanim Scepter we've seen on Anti-Mages, which has both the Lincolns and the Lotus Orb effect tied into it.
I actually think Axe would have been really nice this game because of the 2 spells he can reflect being really high impact. Reflecting the side or reflecting the concoction would have both been really good. I also would be reflecting the full feet. That's also nice. Threaten the AA, force him to move away. Realistically, AA will not really be casting it on him, so, you know. I think most of the time I'm a fan of the Lincoln's pickup just because the stats are better for gold, but this game, the Axe protection.
Team Liquid are going to form up on bottom lane, 5 heroes together, bearing down on the tier 2 tower. And Newbee are in no position to fight this. They're still trying to push out the side lanes. Boogie and Kaka taking care of the top, so it will be a straight tier 2 tower with the Octarine core onto Miracle. Our cooldowns, wonderful regeneration, not just from the chemical rage, but also from that magical burn. He's looking at Assault Cuirass next, and he may be looking at the tier 3 tower next. They're coming in now. Boogie, he has the TP ready. Kaka ready to TP back as well. Blink in, finds the Fire Strike. Looking at the Alchemist. Bandit dodge was attempted. But while that Agency Mortal is on the Alchemist, Miracle will stand just chipping away at the tier 3 tower.
Oh,
Blink in! Lincoln Spear actually triggered off the back of the duel. The Scythe is the return punishment for KP's misdemeanor.
Oh, he didn't see that Matoma Man has the Lincolns. That's such a big mistake. No buyback 1 minute. This is going to be Raxtober. They can't kill this Alchemist twice with these heroes now.
Yeah, it's just looking at it.
Mail.
Kaka needs to bring in the epicenter. They need the damage. Here comes the epicenter from Kaka. Away from the Wards. He's able to get the Fire Strike in. Necro low. The Sonic Wave will kill him off. Where is this damage? However, the Echo Slam from GH. King holding down the anti-mage. Boogie's in trouble. The blink up, but the Plagueborns were there. Kuro is the man that shatters him out. When that Ice Blast connects, it's just too much damage being done. You still have the agency portal there. As now Miracle cancelled himself, but GH, oh, the silence! SCCC controls him perfectly. Now the agency mortal, it's gonna burn. Can they hold him there? Miracle back into the chemical range. Mantra is up, beating into the range rack, turns attention over towards Boogie. He's already Radiance burning down the rest of the Newbee heroes. All he has to do is stand there and he's winning the game. Bringing down the creep wave now into the melee racks. Frost Armor is making this difficult, but not impossible. Team Liquid, where's that Burrow Strike? Coming in from Kaka. SCCC is back. He has that Orphan available. He waited for the Mana Star, but the damage is done. Miracle claims the melee racks. They need something in return. The Lincoln Spear triggers once again. Is Boogie moving forward? KP has the duel available. Looking for the target. Miracle is low. Can he get the duel off? Look for a different target. Mind Control over the side, and they will find this pickoff. SC and Boogie together. KP still wants a bloody duel, but what can he get? Mind Control. There's your duel. Victory comes in. The Scythe doesn't do enough. But Tumberman looking for another opening. He just walks around inside the shroud. They'll all blink away. Newbee, this has been a very expensive defense, and they still lost their bottom lane of Brax.
Who did they buy back? Anti-Mage only, I think?
It was Anti-Mage, Lich, and Sand King. They had three buybacks from
I could not keep track of that. I was just laughing because Miracle was in the middle of everything. Lich is just attacking him for like 20 damage and dying to the Radiance and Acid Spray, and then Miracle in the middle of the fight. He has the presence of mind to just say Eta Team Chat. Well, he's being hit by 3. Oh man. Can you care any less than that, man?
It's a positive mood in the Team Liquid camp. We'll have a quick look at the fight once more. That's the critical moment. The Lincoln's trigger, but Tumberman is safe, and the Legion Commander just cannot get what she wanted.
So full lane of racks, 3 buybacks, and all they lost was Alchemist, Veno, and was that it? Did they even get any additional kills than that? Not sure.
That's a thing.
That's funny. Oh wait, we're playing with him.
There is a decent amount. A lot at stake, especially if Liquid can take this game being 2 games up in the grand final. That is a horrible tunnel that Newbee will have to look down. The one when they walk off the stage knowing they're 1 loss away from losing that crown that all these players want so badly.
Yeah, Newbee's early game went very well this time as well. That's what they've got to be thinking about moving further. Win or lose this game, the early game went well, and right now it's not looking good. So again, what adjustments do you make at this point? The next one, do you try to... I think they will have pick priority in the next game, so maybe was it that last pick from Liquid that was the really big problem, that they could get this Alchemist? Could they have banned something different?
GH.
There's so many picks.
Stun on the Kaka, Force Stun to push him up. SCCC tries to create space with the Shiva gun, and Miracle's going to stun himself through the Lincoln's protection. That Dagon is finally on. That Dagon is finally on top of it.
Level 1. A decent amount of burst with Veil. And here we go again. So Liquid are not hesitating at all to put the pressure on.
This time there won't be the Agency Mortal, but he does have an Assault Cuirass, Blink Fire Strike, and KP, the duel is out. Lich only going to bounce around, Microphone brings it down, but comes back up again the side. KP can't survive, he'll lose the duel. Miracle will come in with a +14 damage, looking to try and end this. It's Matoma with a double kill. And Miracle remembers objective-based gaming. Buyback is there from SCCC, but losing 2 cores already, one of them forced to buy back on Newbee, is already a huge victory for Team Liquid, but they're not done yet.
They're going to wait for Chemical Rage and push for the high ground again, knowing that key cooldowns are now not available. There's no Chain Frost, no Blink Duel.
Look at Miracle. He's going to try and run the back line. Blink Burrow Strike, holding Miracle into position. Venomans are almost down to Mana Point. Boogie couldn't get it off. Now the exit from GH will control it, and this will be a huge kill if they can claim it. Anti-Mage is falling. Anti-Mage is down for 2 minutes. They've lost the numbers. There isn't enough defense here from Newbee without the Anti-Mage. That they'd be caught. They just don't have the damage. And GG, 34 minutes. Team Liquid more than dominating, ripping apart Newbee at the seams in game 2.
It's been so beautiful to watch how Liquid were 1 game away from elimination and just slowly discovered what their strengths are as a team. Like, I think Liquid is the team in this main event with the most draft in this game. I didn't feel like they were clearly at an advantage, but they're building.
Yo, game kedua berhasil kembali dimenangkan oleh tim Liquid dengan MVP ini sebagai Miracle. Wow, 878. Nice. Kita lihat di game sendiri, TOP-nya 543, 600, 300, 400, 500, dan skornya luar biasa, 1794. Menit 34:11. Mereka itu gamenya di awal-awal timnya itu yang berpegangan menang di awal malah di comeback sama mereka. Berkat permainan yang jenis dan ini skillnya berhasil membawa kemenangan tim Liquid. Nah, kita lihat di game 3, kalau tim Liquid menang di game 3 maka jelaslah juara di tim Liquid. Kita dulu ya.
B's turn to ban.
Surprised to see a 3-0 from Team Liquid. So if you're a Liquid fan, if you're a Newbee fan, let me hear you make some noise. It's time for Game 3 of the Grand Final. What will Newbee bring to this draft? We've seen Team Liquid be so impossible to draft against. And once again, it's Nature's Prophet, Aya, banned from Newbee, straight up picking into Earthshaker.
They actually steal the Venomancer this time, going to the Rasta as well, so it's quite a different approach from the other games.
Yeah, I see.
I like it. Is the Coddle coming though? Coddle's out.
They tried the Call and Shaker the other game, which didn't really work out for them when Mindcouple was playing the Shaker, so they might still do it, I guess, but...
Yeah, I think Liquid's momentum that they managed to build up this tournament pretty much allows them to do whatever they feel like. I don't think it's as easy to call. Like, they're not going to go back to some comfort picks. I mean, they can go for the Coddle, but they might be more likely... Like, I think they're very likely thinking about a lot of heroes right now. I think they feel so confident. They're throwing out all their ideas. Like, right now, they might be too hungry for the win, but they're definitely like looking at everything they can do, or a lot of things that they can do.
They have a lot of choices here. I mean, they choose the hero that's going to set them up for the whole strategy right now. It could be anything really.
Yeah. The Venomancer is a quite good pick against Shaker though, to be able to cancel his daggers throughout the whole game with the Venom wards.
The double ward strat is also something. Yeah. The more wards you had, the more pressure.
You have.
It is. I mean, it's a concept. It's like when you have so much in front of you, you can't deal with it.
So you need Pug now, and then you have a Tombstone.
Yes.
Kind of like add. It's not exactly ward, right?
It's a big ward.
Just
a thick ward.
It's kind of interesting to see Newbee saying, well, you seem to have a good sense of what heroes to pick. Let's go ahead and pick some of those. Captain Kuroki, trying to guide Team Newbee.
Liquid's taking a sweet time, though.
It's like, how do we counter Venomancer?
Yeah. I mean, Venom is an interesting hero. So we got here, Lich.
All right.
Very non-committal.
So yeah, that keeps things open in a lot of ways. It gives them a lot of laning possibilities. Lich Shaker is very good together.
I think they're thinking Lich Armor a lot for the tower too.
Right, that's something as well.
I think they want to get Morph as well, because Morph is one of the heroes that are very good against Venomancer, to be able to kill the Venowards, and as well as to get away from him.
Maybe they wouldn't feel like banning in Newbee that they have a Hex. I know most of the Chinese, they love having their Hexes against Morphs, not just for the Rebel Kit, but for the hero itself, and all these elusive heroes. But no, definitely, I see the Morph. Oh, there's
it is. Actually called. Honestly, there are so many possibilities for Liquid. Like, it's so many years. Although there's something to look at, that it's Kuro playing the Lich, right? So it's unlikely they will Dazzle or Oracle into a Huskar, so that's something you have to consider. Alk is still out there.
I've seen the GH Dazzle. Was that success or a failure?
GH Dazzle?
I think I've seen it. Maybe I'm wrong. Axe out. Okay, so they might be thinking about one of these joggers. Or Troll Warlords again. They've been running some Troll Warlord this tournament, and Axe is a pretty good hero against them.
It's also a hero Newbee had success with getting into the Grand Finals. They played this Axe.
So one game on?
Work. I think it was 2 games.
Okay, well, really? 2 games of Axe?
Yeah, I believe so.
I didn't manage to catch this.
5 seconds.
There's also a problem for Lich. Even though the armor is very good for the towers against Rasta and Venom, he also doesn't enjoy being pushed over by these heroes early.
Alk just gets out right away.
Tide ban. Okay, Liquid. I mean, they kind of know what they want already. You can tell by the way they're banning. Like, they have this one thing in mind that they haven't stopped. I don't really like the Alk ban necessarily, because I do think they have a fast lineup that could have played against it, and I mean, it does show fear. But more importantly, I think this Axe ban doesn't suggest Alk. Like, this Axe ban suggests something else. Alk is, Brood maybe.
Brood.
It opens up like both Tide and Axe are very good against Brood, and now like they actually let Brood through because they have to ban this Morph and
maybe they're thinking about it.
Yeah, and now they kind of prepare for it with the Sanking to be able to kill the Spirings.
So do you think this is going to be Rookie Venom, or?
I'm gonna say if they're keeping it open, it's gonna be probably SEC or Movie playing that, and I think this is just gonna be dual support. I mean, Kaka obviously amazing Sanking. I wouldn't be surprised. But it does look like they are setting up a Brood meta. Seeing these 2 heroes, they actually suffer a lot. Sanking is a little better, of course, but it would give them such a laning possibility that it would be very hard for Newbee to answer.
I do think it might be hard to pick the Brood on 3rd pick, though.
No.
I think you want to wait one more. As Liquid, they like to run this Brood against just a really good mid. That's if the supports are fine against Brood, I think they will still pick it. I've seen what they do with this Brood Mother mid to these poor invokers. Like it's
it's scary.
It's miserable.
It's a very good way to make the opponents like have to trade the lanes into bad lanes, and invoke your safe lane or something that you really don't want to have.
This is where mind control will shine.
You've seen Huskar picked up a lot by Team Liquid. Do you think there's any possibility of an Oracle Huskar setup?
Definitely, but like Tal said, it's lucky Pro Lich.
Yeah. Darkseer.
So this is going to be GH Shaker. Although
in theory they could play the mid Shaker or Miracle. So I mean Darkseer, yeah, that's good. It's good on the lane against Venom. Overall it gives them a lot of team fight possibilities. Imagine this back into Shaker, into Lich ulti.
Liquid is kind of changing their playstyle right now. If we look at the other games, when Mind Control has been playing Prophet, and can't remember what did he play in the last game.
What was it before that? Venom?
Yeah.
Venom, yeah.
Yeah, Venom. Like, these heroes like, actually makes a lot of space. Darkseer does it in a way because he pushes in lanes, but he's more team fight oriented than
team fight oriented. And there's a thing, people can say that Venom can lane against Darkseer because he can without losing power, and maybe even bully Darkseer a little bit, but I think Liquid, they like playing around this surge and this team fight that comes with it. That particularly counters Venom and even Hex.
Yeah, and not to mention also he's a very good pipe and mech builder, which does a lot of advantages for Venomancer. I like it a lot though. I think they have a good idea going into this draft, Liquid. Like they have a lot of possibilities.
I see these heroes with Iron Shell, Surge, Snakes, like these heroes are running away for a long time, you know, and this creates openings for all these Shakers and Liches to do it. Oh, that's a good pick, I think. Oh, I like that pick a lot.
Talk to me about it. What is it that's so great about Centaur War Runner?
Because we were just talking about how they might be running in with some Nyx, or I just mentioned, this ultimate matches your movement speed through a surge, you know, so you're equally like running around the fight, and then you have another chance to take the fight the way you want it.
And this sort of implies that Shadow Shaman is going to be 55, Sand King 4, the Centaur likely to be the off lane, and it appears Venomancer is probably going to be mid or safe lane.
Mid or safe lane, that's what they're keeping open, I imagine. I don't think they want to run some safe lane Centaur Game 3 TF final.
Is there some anti-mage possibilities here? I think it's a pretty good game. Very
Looking historically, Team Liquid likes to run Darkseer with super hard carry to do a lot of harm.
Yeah, I mean they usually run the core with, they run Darkseer with Slardar, but Shaker might just fulfill that role instead. I could see an aim.
Next to this. Okay, so they just take another one, they're heroes.
Yeah, it basically sets them up for a great laning phase, because Lich actually has the freedom to do whatever he wants here. He doesn't have to go in the Darkseer lane, he doesn't actually have to go in the Necro lane. So what they can do is actually they can tri-lane middle against whatever SEC is going to be playing, whether it's Ven or it's some other hero.
They're going to use all their reserve time on this ban. Yeah. They're banning the Miracle hero on last.
That's probably going to be somewhat of a hard carry, or active hero at least.
Yeah, are we thinking something like Alchemist again, or Anti-Mage for Team Liquid?
Alch is out. There's the Anti-Mage.
Oh, of course, yes, that was coming first.
I don't necessarily think Anti-Mage enjoys playing against Centaur, like on the lane especially, and I do think if they ban it anyways. How much point?
What about the Troll? Is it bad?
Yeah, I like Troll for Liquid, because if you look at it, what they're missing right now is a way to take objectives, and Troll would give them that, like someone to kill towers, Roche, whatever, because you need that in the game. And meanwhile for Newbee you have Menno and Rasta, so you have everything covered, right?
Yeah, what do you think is actually missing for Newbee? What do they want to fill in on the powerful last pick?
Well, they have the last pick, right? So they get to see, and we could assume, I guess, there's going to be some Troll-like hero. I think it's likely there's some carry.
I can see the Troll.
They're gonna let win the game, and he needs to be able to take Roche.
Invoker is the ban.
I suggest the Necro's mid. Like, Necro is not the best hero against Invoker, but it is a pretty good matchup for Necro. Maybe they're looking for a mid hero for me.
I like them Necro against Centaur a lot. I think
they're definitely looking at that.
I mean, the Troll has many good matchups middle, so I don't think they were too worried if they pick it, but we'll see what they do here.
5 seconds remaining.
Team Liquid only has 1 second of reserve time.
Radiant team hit.
Juggernaut, right?
Oh, I like it.
That's a similar type of role that he fulfills, where he hits towers, he can carry, he gives you the objectives. It's another way to team fight, and it can be very good against Venomancer as well. The sustain that they have now between Darkseer, Necro, and Jugger actually completely destroys what Venomancer wants to do in the game.
Do you think that Jugger is going to be mid or safe?
That's the thing. I think they like it because the option's open. They can decide on this pick, so Newbee has an even harder time picking.
And I guess both Jugger and Necro are quite good against the Centaur on the lane, right? Jugger can kill him with the spin. With some help, and Necropos can sustain a lot.
I will say Centaur can be good against Jugger. It depends who gets the help. But if they have the Sledge Jugger against Centaur, then Centaur's going to be very sad.
So really dominant Centaur with early hood counters what Jugger wants to do in this lane. But I think it's Jugger favored overall.
Alright, they're going to need some game-winning hero for Newbee. I mean, they have like pretty much everything covered. They have, you know, some decent team fights, some way to take towers, objectives, stuns, blah, blah, blah. But then you need a hero that actually wins you the game now.
But you also have to think, like, I don't think you can be happy with some poke-style kind of hero. We talked about their sustain. I see so much sustain. I think they need to close the gap with these stuns and, like, take the fight to them, like, force them to fight them back.
I mean, at this point, you feel like in some of these hard carries that Newbee banned, maybe they wish they had available in the pool still.
That's, of course, another route if you have a really hard carry that...
I think that they want to pick a mean hero, like Lina or
Shadowfiend, maybe. Alright, that's Prophet.
Yeah, Prophet for Newbee.
Right.
And it looks like Miracle will be running the Juggernaut and the Tumba Man on the Necrophos, but we're still not sure what the lanes are going to pan out to be.
Neither is Newbee.
And they're going to need a lot of help in this game. Newbee currently down 0-2. If you are a Chinese fan, make some noise. If you are a Newbee fan, make some noise. Newbee needs it. Casters, take it away for what could be the final game of TI7.
Liquid are literally drowning in Sustained at the moment, coming into game 3, already 2 games up against Newbee. Newbee maybe with a little bit more of a fast-paced lineup, maybe some more energy behind them, had a good conversation between game 2 and game 3. Can they force a 4th?
Yeah, I think so. I think this lineup from Newbee, I said in the last game they were making the right adjustments. I think now they've taken it even another step in the right direction, even further. Now they forced mind control off of that Benno and the Nature's Prophet. The bans, again, I pretty much agree with what Newbee were doing in the first phase. And now their approach is, okay, last game we had the lanes, but we didn't push fast enough. So now we're going to have the lanes and the push this time. So they have Benno, Shaman, and Death Prophet to push out, and some pretty strong laners to go with it. Liquid's draft is a little bit different for them. The Darkseer they haven't had the most success with, and this Juggernaut pick is pretty uncommon at this main event, so...
Do you actually worry with the hero pickups they have? Like, we're not going to say Matama Necro is a bad pickup for them, but a lot of it takes a lot of farm to get online. Like, how long do you take before you get the Rod of Atos? How long until you get the mech on the Darkseer? How long until Juggernaut has to sustain outside of Deputy's Mantra or Diffusal? All these items, and you start to beg the question, how long will this take? And then you're up against a team that can add pressure with Plague Lords all the time. They have engage and disengage through the Centaur Stampede, Mass Serpent Wards, Exorcism, all these abilities to start lacquering on top for Newbee. Can they force the issue before Liquid is ready?
I think so. If the lanes go well for Newbee in this game, they have the tools to very quickly snowball this game out of control. Getting the Roshan, getting towers, plenty of ways of doing it. I think for Liquid it's very crucial that they get to use the Ion Shell on Juggernaut at the earlier stages of the game for fights, because they, apart from that, they don't have that much they're bringing to the table. They have the Lich and Shaker, who are both in each their ways fairly slow build-up supports. Lich wins a lane, but still takes some time. Shaker as a roamer is pretty lackluster with specific heroes. I don't think he has that great synergy here. He's with a Darkseer that's like okay. The Necrophos mid he can't necessarily kill with, and then the Juggernaut is possible, but difficult, right? So I'm looking for Liquid's lineup to struggle to find kills early, and if Newbee can capitalize on that, finding their own and this time push and not face an Alchemist late in the draft, this time they can actually convert it into a win. I think this is Newbee's best draft of the finals. If they can't win this game, then Liquid's just hands down the better team today, like by quite a lot.
They do have the advantage in the laning phase of Vision while supporting it to get that early game you're talking about, avoiding the kills, the rotations of GH being effective. The 2 Observer Wards from Newbee focus on that hillside to the south of the bottom rune, and the other one smack bang in the middle lane. So Vision is covering the south as well as the mid. Earthshaker, he wants to rotate up towards top lane and try and kill off the Centaur. Warrunner, good luck, it's going to take you some time to do it. So they're feeling very secure in that lane. In fact, they're even going to run a double lane. Karka as well as KP are together, so they have a double stun lineup, which should be very, very effective against Miracle. They just have to keep Miracle away from the lanes, and Kaka already doing it. Burrow Strike, Wolf Stomp, they're dropping the Juggernaut down to 1/3 of his life. If Kaka can get this body block up as well, Miracle trying to create a little bit of space. Newbee, Miracle has to be forced into the spin. You got a secondary Burrow Strike. They can go under the tower, but they won't do it. Healing Salve plus Tango being burnt by Miracle. He'll stay safe under the tier 1.
Good initial pressure from Newbee on this lane.
Oh, wait,
trying to
the fissure was raised, but not thrown.
There's no kill potential in this mid lane. SCC can't die to these two heroes. There is absolutely no way unless he completely scoops up something. So GH is just trying to do whatever little he can to just pressure SC and force him to use some regen. That fissure did pretty much nothing. And SC is having a good time here, forcing Matoma under his tower with this double wave. And now GH is like, okay, not really happening in mid. I'm going to move forward.
Oh, Kaka.
Maybe there's an opportunity here. Good fissure.
With the Frostbite and the last attack from Kuro. Flying over the rock wall. First blood spilt. Very, very aggressive.
This is what I'm praising GH for so much. It's that game sense, you know? Like, he goes mid, just shows himself. Newbee are like, okay, Shaker's mid. He vanishes from mid. Immediately goes for this play that is... the way I see it, his only kill on the map is this exact hero with this exact ally. It's very specific subset of things that need to happen, and Liquid set it up beautifully and get themselves first blood on the Lich. So Kuro getting some fast boots out. We'll have plenty of money to take care of courier duty as well. It's another fissure mid. GH has the arcane rune. Might as well get a little bit annoying with that.
He actually holds the creep.
Bounty runes.
He holds the creep wave back far enough that Matoma doesn't even have it come on. Okay, now I'll come onto the tower, but that's a double wave for Death Prophet to try and farm up, which is a nice injection of CS and experience into him, unless GH wants to do something about it. But the Observer Ward from Newbee does scout it out, so even if this fish does fly, you can see SCCC understands just how tanky he is and just how much of a hard time Newbee will have to, Liquid will have to kill him.
Yes. GH at the same time, recognizing that the bounty runes cannot have been picked up because all of Newbee's heroes have been showing, so he goes and takes the enemy bounty rune first. Now he can still go back toward his own. He has a full minute to do that. It's just going to fissure off Faith and be really annoying. Mind Control actually coming in here with a level 2 Ion Shell. Faith, there is a crevice to get through.
He just needs a little bit more movement speed.
He's going to be fine.
330 versus the 295. Good for a Shaman to have those early boots to keep the run going. Still want to keep my eyes pretty closely on mid. I know it's mainly because we've had the Earthshaker rotating around, but this is the time when Kaka finally moves off the top lane. It is daytime, which makes it difficult for him to close the distance. There is no dire Observer Ward watching this mid lane. The GH is back. Faith is here as well. Everyone's prepping, apart from Kaka, who's just having a one-on-one battle with Kuro. But GH has to be careful of where he is. Faith comes up, the Observer Ward is there. Knows what he's up against, and everyone's just going to run away. But this is a lot better start for Newbee when you look over it. Like, yeah, okay, you gave away first blood, but Mugi's getting really good farm. SCCC's getting really good farm in the mid lane. KP's finding experience on the off lane. So that Stampede arriving at an earlier time is great for Newbee to disengage from Team Liquid's aggression.
He's getting good CS as well on the Centaur. I think this hero can fall flat a lot of the time. I think it's really weak without any items. Like, there's a lot of other off laners in this patch that deal better with being put under pressure, but Centaur really needs like that Blink Dagger to start having an impact, and then compare it over to the Darkseer, where sure, if you don't have the mech, maybe it's not the best hero, but you can at least utilize your team with that Ion Shell. All Centaur really offers is the Stampede. It's nice, but it's an ultimate, so you know, then you're kind of a walking ulti at that point almost. It's a bit hard to get as much out of your hero. So it's very good news for Newbee that all three of their cores are getting good farm.
Kuro's trying to get that aggressive Observer and Sentry Ward down behind KP. Either that, they run in towards the mid. Fate, they will reveal like Kuro and GH, both Frost Blast and the Fissure being committed. Basically negligible damage as Matubberman wants to go underneath the tower. Kuro does put the Observer Ward down. A quick ping came out from Shaman saying that he's around here.
He's trying to see if he can get eyes on Kuro and see that he used the ward, but he might just assume that was the case. See, there's no
He'll get vision now. He's walking underneath an Observer Ward. Right. So yeah, they're pinging, and they pinged exactly the spot of that Observer Ward.
Essentially, it is a guess. Kuro could have also put it on the cliff to the left, but it seems like Newbee guessed right. Let's see when they get a sentry off this ward. That ward is very good.
Probably one of the reasons too why they scanned. Like, they scanned on top of the camps, just to the north of that point. So trying to work out if he ran over the top of the Ancients or not.
Fairly quiet.
They got Faith up here as well. They're looking at Miracle. Now, they actually... They don't have the Hex. Okay, yeah, that'll work. Kuro, the Shackles available. Okay, now that Hex is up. Level 3, he was holding onto it. KP with a double edge. The Faith takes the kill. So a good movement up from Newbee. They're going to support from exactly the same point they lost their support. Boogie's having the greatest time in the world on bottom. 21 denies and 33 last hits.
This is still a good Darkseer lane, though. Mind control on this hero has had a really high impact in a lot of situations, in a lot of games, and it fits very well into Liquid's playstyle of being able to shove out lanes to get information. So the fact that Darkseer is getting this many levels and farm is, you know, it's still a farm Veno for sure, but Mind control lane getting this.
Miracle, where's that follow-up? Have they got the stun? They do, so there's no spin available for Spirit side, but Miracle just has to tank the physical damage, which he cannot do. Great movement up from SCCC, and they can bring that Exorcism to bear on the Tier 1 tower on the top.
Definitely going to go for that here, now that he made the full rotation out there.
Wow.
Boogie.
Even trying to surge GH away from that fight. The Observer Ward from Newbee, seeing Kuro moving to the top. Kaka and KP, they've already set the trap, starting off with a double edge, but no, he attacked first with a Frost Armor, slowing up Kaka. He doesn't have the mana anyway, so he cannot get the Burrow Strike off, but is allowing SCCC to attack into the tower. But that's the more important thing, the creep skipping. But the TP arriving back, so Miracle back into the lane, stopping the tower from falling at least. But it's KP, yeah, he cuts through the trees. Quelling Blade, he doesn't have hook stop, they're so short of mana. At least they got the Burrow Strike back on Kaka, but no more creep wave under the tower, really.
They got a lot of damage into that tower. Liquid lost 1,000 health, and the trade-off is, I guess Matumba did some decent chip damage in mid, but Faith is getting good levels, and you look at this Newbee lineup and you feel like, okay, when they have all of these ultimates available, and they have their key items, they will just start almost like Death Ball. With their heroes. They just really want to group up in 5 and take objectives. The question is if Liquid will have the tools to deal with it in time. I'm pretty sure we're going to see the first Roshan from Newbee pretty early in the game. If Liquid want to get it, they have to steal it. They can't take it themselves. Very unrealistic with their lineup. GH is
it's really close to Faith. Fresh Observer Ward down. He's got his own Observer Ward down as well, so Faith will take it quickly. Shackles, not available. In fact, he used the Ether Shock, so the mana isn't available. In fact, now with moving over, they have enough of a slow through the Plague Ward. Gale's going to connect on his target, and SCCC into the Plague Ward up on the hill, realize no one else is there from Team Liquid. But while that's going on, top lane, the spin from Miracle. He has the Omni Slash available, but the Burrow Strike from Kaka, holding Miracle in position. He'll go into the tree, taking a lot of damage from the tower. Has to have the Healing Ward to give him life. Kaka, Burrow Strike in 2 seconds time. He can go once more, but the Healing Ward's causing problems, but maybe not enough. He has the damage, does he? The Healing Ward protection's available with the spin on Miracle. He'll live and sound back up once more.
If KP had 100% faith in that perfect Sampling stun, I think they could have killed the Jugger together. Pretty sure he had double edge ready again, so Newbee, a little bit of a missed opportunity there, but still good for them to survive at the very least, get their Centaur out of trouble. And the lanes continuing with the pressure. Venomancer takes the bottom tier 1, top tier 1. The next on the menu for him. As Miracle
right in, dodging that hook stun from KP Kaka. He doesn't have the mana for a Burrow Strike, and there was nothing he could do while Miracle was immune. But Matumba could do something else. He's ready to wrap around the back. The creep wave's coming into the tower.
The classic Necropulse stun.
Yeah, Reaper Size is available. What are you going to do, Matumba? You want to do damage to him? I suppose you can hide invisible. That's a great way to dodge it.
Works pretty well. You can still hit Death Pulse, but would need to lose like 4 or 5 of them to kill off Kaka, and Kaka's just gonna back off, get clarity.
Boogie switching lanes through now. Feeling the pressure coming on the top lane, they'll fortify up. Faith moving up as well, so Team Liquid, they were hoping for a free tier 1 tower on this top lane. It ain't gonna happen. Boogie's got his combination ready. And there's a lot of farm. In fact, the fact that Creep Wave is hitting that bottom tier 1 tower is warning bells for Team Liquid to back off the top lane.
I think we're gonna look at the smoke here in a moment for Newbee. They're grouped up as 3 with Poison Nova available as well from Newbee. Could try to look for a kill in this top area into that tier 1 tower. If they kill the Juggernaut here, for example, that tower is theirs for taking. Time though, it's slow here. Will be a stun coming from Sand King.
Miracle has Omni Slash available, but he knows he doesn't want to do it when Sandstorm's available. And that's not the way for him to find a kill.
Kaka just wants to push the wave out and get a ward out. Sitting on the There's the Stampede though, and this will be the kill.
The Shackles hold him there. That's a huge kill. Miracle to fall with Moogie already up. The tier 1 tower in the top lane stays numbered.
I love plays like this where you can tell Newbee have already set up, coordinated, and are ready and are waiting.
Kaka, they can set up on this one. Kaka, Burrow Strike. He cannot survive, but Tumberman still having the range for the aura. Level 3 in it. Kill off Kaka, but he doesn't get scythed to death at least. But a lot of pressure on top lane.
Defending their tower. They do have Mass Serpent Wards. I think if they plop those down together with the Plague Wards, they will be getting this tower, but...
Fate's backing off.
Fate wants to go mid instead.
Yeah, they're switching their attack to work with SCCC, who's got the Exorcism available.
This might be a good idea. I mean, the top tower is pretty low, right? So it's a big ultimate commitment for such a low tower. This way, they make sure they have a 2-lane siege.
They're going to get a Burrow Strike around the back if possible. GH is looking to defend. Kaka, there's your Mass Serpent Wards, Fisher to go out. Burrow Strike going to connect on that mid lane. Exorcism is out too. GH low on life, doesn't want to come close, but it's Necrophos who's shackled up, taking a lot of damage. Brought that Exorcism face. No, he's going to die. Oh, the catapult bouncing off the Chain Frost. The Darkseer back wall. He's going to make a little bit more problems. Fissure is out, so Kaka being broken out of his Sandstorm, out of the Invis. SCCC wants to bring the damage in close, but with 3 heroes already rotated over from Team Liquid, it just ain't going to happen. The only thing which is happening to Newbee is that top tier 1 tower being claimed by Moogie.
So they got all 3 tier 1s and 12 minutes. Yeah, very good timing, but not really too much of a gold lead to show for it. They've lost a couple of heroes. I think Kaka's died there on the Shaker, very optimistic. Like, there's no real follow-up to it. They couldn't really turn that Sanking Stun into anything, and he ends up dying in the end together with the Shaman. Liquid are just playing the small advantages that they do have in the moments to keep it a pretty even game. So they have a couple of towers to claim, which means Liquid are ahead on raw farm. There's more gold on the map for them in these towers. Let's see if they want to make a move of their own.
Well, they're coming to bottom lane, but KP's already out. TP very quickly away.
Yeah, the tower's gone.
Yeah, but if they pressure bottom lane, Moogie's already up on top to continue the pressure. You have Stampede available, so it kind of gives Newbee the confidence to go a little bit deeper than they normally would. And the fact they're doing that means they can potentially catch out GH. GH, the man who's found Blink Daggers at insane rates, now just has to run away. Sand King has that level 3 Burrow Strike. He does not have the range on GH just yet, but when GH holds behind the tower, the Observer Ward, it doesn't see him. He's in a small crevice. Now he comes out. Faith will see him. And well, no, they're not going to use it just yet. Necrophos starting his TP in. So Faith will just drag the wave down.
I actually thought Kaka had eyes on him earlier and they were going to stampede for it, but I guess he was just outside of the night vision range of Sand King. So, no kill, and Liquid defend. So buying more time for their lineup, they just need space and time to farm and get these towers. Juggernaut is doing a pretty good job here, Miracle finding some good farm. The Darkseer has been relatively quiet, but it will now be completing the mech soon. GH's Blink, we were talking about it, it's 900 away, but he can farm it pretty quickly with this Ion Shell help on Mind Control.
As long as he times the last hits, right?
Oh, he's letting Mind Control get some CS.
Okay, he'll take that. He'll take the last 2.
Yep.
But this is still a good position for Newbee too. Like we've been looking for something that gets them back into this series, and having real superb team fight from Newbee, which is an essential thing against Liquid's sustain. That's what it's all about. That's going to give us our clash. That's going to give us our clash we were really searching for.
Newbee need to get a rogue, I think. Get some wards out here, start putting that pressure. They have the Mass Serpent Wards, they have the Exorcism. It's a lot of ulti commitments, but it would be a good move. Instead, they're going to turn it into a rotation toward top into tier 2. That's also a great high impact play.
They can kill Matumberman. He's the man looking to build a Radiance. Fate's just going to get close enough to get the next thanks to the Observer Ward they have behind. They see everything stampeding forward. Exorcism is down. There's a lot of damage. KP is taken, but they'll still get the kill into Matumberman. SCC once more. Kuro TP'd in to try and help out, but now he's trapped. Kaka, no Burrow Strike for another 2 seconds, but the Exorcism will do the work, and Kuro, Kaka even commits it to ensure it. So that's 2 kills up on the top lane, and now pressure to the tier 2 tower.
Looks like we don't want to give up the tower though. We're going to send in Shaker and Darkseer trying to lay them first.
Well, Mass Serpent Wards it down. Liquid might think twice about it. At least Mind Control gives the buckler effect for Kaka. Burrow Strike, he's looking at Mind Control, but knowing that GH has the vision behind the lines is not what they want to go into. So they'll let the Mass Serpent Wards die, or maybe not. Miracle's coming in from the south. Burrow Strike up, Kaka actually dodging the back, but he cannot dodge the spin of Miracle. He's also Iron Shell buffed up, double TP's out. SCCC, his TP's coming off cooldown in a second. He had to move one of his null talismans out of his backpack, and now starts it, but GH Echo slams it down. The silence, it needed to connect on the Earthshaker.
Yep. He tried to get the silence on both of them, both the Jugger and Shaker, but GH was just out of range.
difficult to do when you don't have that vision.
I think if he committed for a silence on Shaker, he might have lived. I'm not sure if Juggernaut had enough damage with Ion Shell and level 1 Omni Slash to actually kill the DP out of the TP there, but good kills for Liquid. They defend their tower, and they played these small advantages. They had 2 dead heroes, and they still defended their tower and found exit kills, just using that Ion Shell and the rotating Juggernaut very well.
I'm still interested that like when Newbee have that big strength, like they're finding these exit kills, Liquid are coming in towards understanding they can find them because you haven't felt the effect of the Venomancer yet. Boogie continues to farm up, and he only really comes to join the fights when this tier 1 tower on the top lane is being threatened. And that's what they're doing. Surfboards on the hillside. Faith going to move in close enough. They'll get the heck. Pull up Shackles. The Fission. Nice from T8. Pull stop Stampede from KP. Direct create space. Lich holding won't continue with bounce, however. But KP's on the wrong side of the track. Omni Slash. They have enough damage to get through Karka. But Miracle trucked under the towers. KP still alive. He ran all the way up to the north. Even has his Blinker Babble and steals the bounty room from Team Liquid. It's a call for a support. The top tower. It does fall in favor of Matumberman, who committed in. SCC's Spirit Sign, but not enough to dissuade him from the attempt.
Liquid were looking for a vacuum into Fissure combo there, and they got it off decently, but not fully. And the Stampede allowed them to disengage and get out. That looked really scary for Newbee. If they don't have Stampede, they lose like 3 or 4 heroes. So a really key ability for them to have against this Liquid lineup. And it's very clear there. You can see what the idea behind the Centaur pick was.
Shaker had his Blink Dagger.
Yep.
They've got that initiation now onto GH.
If you had that fight, that would have been a stop for Liquid. So
yep.
Newbee can't afford to get vacuumed like that again. If they get 2 or 3 hero backed into Shaker Echo, the fight's just lost.
Yep.
Gotta be really careful.
That's when they're going to need the maneuverability from both Stampede, the space creation from Centaur. The fact that Venomancer will soon have his full Hurricane Pike. You need a Yule Scepter for SCCC to stay alive, and that is coming out in the courier. In fact, both of those items are arriving on the courier. Maneuverability getting better. Interesting to see the Faith is actually not helping him out with maneuverability. He's going straight to push line. The Aghanim Scepter rush on the Shaman after having just the Arcade boost.
Kind of shows what the game plan is, right? You want the Shaman to hit a timing when they can just go to try and hit the team. A lot of the time we see Shamans go for Staff Timer or Blink. And all 3 items have their value in this game.
That's a nice room. Double damage room, but the bad thing is the Echo Sam catching out at SCCC. They're already using that Hurricane Pike to get him free for the Stampede. They'll turn around, Masso force it down too. They find the kill into the Earthshaker. Now Newbee want to roll with the momentum into Mind Control, who stands his ground, taking him for the team. Exorcism has been burnt, and there is a creep wave here to work with. But what Newbee want is something bigger. They want Roshan.
This is their good time for this. 10 seconds on Shaker, 30 on the Darkseer. Don't think like they're in any position to contest this. This was the big moment we were waiting for Newbee, where they find the key kill close to that objective. Getting the full value out of Exorcism here. He's even going to heal up to full here. SCC did so much damage with the Ghost that he's ready to go somewhere else. Roche will fall, and they'll probably give the Aegis to
and it is on Boogie. GH has to be really sad. That was the first reveal of his Blink Dagger, and it didn't really come with the big impact they wanted. Miracle has still been able to find a lot of farm in the meantime, rapidly approaching the Commander style. But he's still behind in the net worth, only by 600. And that's to the Venomancer. Hurricane Pike, Aegis Immortal. What else? He hasn't have anything else coming out at the moment. He's just got those critical items.
The Pike made that fight, by the way. The Force Staff or the Pike usage immediately on the Death Prophet got him into a very good position where Newbee was counter-engaged. Not sure, Liquid were probably not accounting for that play when GH jumped in. It's just like, okay, if we catch anyone, they don't have any save in their lineup. They have Stampede, which they can't use when they're stunned, but no, that little bit of Force Staff usage there really turned the tide to Newbee. They tried to throw. Gonna be looking for more of that from them. Still a very close game.
Yeah, that's actually the real first advantage that Newbee have got. Just to fight straight out. So they go up in the gold, they go up in the experience, but you're still hovering around that 2k just above and below for experience and gold advantage in favor of Newbee. That's not really enough to say you have a victory over Team Liquid. In fact, even if you had 20k, I don't think you had a victory over Team Liquid.
If you're 20k ahead of Team Liquid, that's generally a win.
That would be...
I don't know if I've ever seen a team come back from that. Well, you know, they're just 18k off, so if they get that in the next 30 seconds, then you're right. Looking forward to that play out of Newbee.
Thanks for your analysis, Minrin. You're absolutely, you're a dear. Shaker ready to fight on bottom lane already. Newbee are feeling someone is down here. They're scanning inside their own jungle, waiting for the Liquid attack. This is where Moogie needs to get those Plague Wards down, get really good vision, which Liquid already have. That Observe Ward just to the south side of the tree line. They see the defense that Newbee have in position, even in this nighttime cycle.
This is actually something we didn't talk about at all about Liquid's lineup. I think this is the first lineup from Liquid we've seen today in all of their games where they don't have a single vision hero. And that is, to me, this guy has more about vision than any other guy. Oh,
by top
lane.
Aggro slam, Kaka.
That's what happens if you don't have vision, and you die. Meanwhile, on bottom,
Matumba
got a little bit of a book reading club in bottom of the map.
I'm sorry, book reading club, they're going to be down here in a while. Maybe you can cut down the trees, make some paper, and write something interesting.
These two heroes, probably, they look like they spend a lot of years reading.
Well, Lich does come with his own book.
Yep.
Well, look over my shoulder and read Matumba.
Do you guys want to get out?
I'm not
TPs, they're just standing there.
They're scanning. They don't see anything. Like, they have their Observer Ward near the tower, but they don't know where Venomancer and Shadow Shaman have left to. Like, if they wanted to, they could drop Mass Serpent Wards in the TNC tower on bottom.
They want to cut the wave. I thought they were just going to TP out, but saving the TP scroll so they have the ability to move around the map, and we'll just, I don't feel safe now, so we can walk up there. Take care of business here, get those creeps killed. Almost has the Radiance. It's a big item in this game for the Necropos, just ramping up that farm, synergy with the Veil.
You know, the more and more I'm looking at this game, the more and more issues I see Team Liquid taking high ground. Like, you look at the build coming in from Moogie, going to go in for the Maelstrom. Like, that is a lot of bonus damage, a lot of push. Kuro, Moogie actually stopped attacking for half a second. It's the Crypt Swarm from SDC that will reach him.
They should drop the Serpent Wards here, I think.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like, you're going to have ward on ward action, and then you have even more push coming in from the Maelstrom. I don't know if Liquid can really knock down that wall fast enough. And even if they do get advantage in the game, how do you then push against the Newbee when they have a pre-prepared position?
It's difficult. It is really difficult for Liquid heroes to take a fight into this Newbee lineup. And Newbee know it, so they're just going to go for one tower into the next. Because Aegis the Immortal on Venomancer, you could just cross straight down to bottom and take the tower, or you just try to go for high ground.
Yeah, put down a Plague Ward, at least see what's there.
They have an Arcane Rune on the Death Prophet, so...
Darkseer just TP back in. The Plague Wars don't see him deep enough. They only see Matumba, but they don't see Kuro, Mind Control, and GH. So Exorcism is up for the Death Prophet. He has it. He also taking a lot of damage, but Mass Serpent Ward's also down. Matumba taking the damage in order to get rid of a couple of them. Moogie, there's more wards where they came from. That mid-tower dropping quickly. 600, 500. Fortification used by Team Liquid. Trying to hold them out. Mind Control trying to wrap around through the north. Hoping to get into the back lines of Newbee for that wonderful back combination. Doesn't happen. In fact, Surges to get back inside the base and keep the defense going. The tier 3 tower at 283. But it looks like enough. Newbee are happy with the chip damage. They will now disengage.
They can wait another minute and have Exorcism again, but then they won't have their Aegis anymore. So we'll see what Newbee's play call is. I think it's a difficult one to make without the Aegis the second time. This time that was not too difficult for them to realize that that was definitely favoring them.
It's the items you're looking for. So Aegis times out. The pipe is actually flying out the courier right now to KP. So they'll have that extra control. The Rod of Atos has also arrived for SDCC. They've got a lot of immunity on him. Good Scepter, Wood of Defiance, and now Rod of Atos. That's 1640 worth of HP that somehow they need to find the damage on Liquid to get through. You're still working on Diffuser Blade for Miracle. That's not there, and life gets even harder. A full Radiance is done, well, at least for the Necro, so I say harder for Newbee in the team fight to get every single hit.
Taka?
Yeah, middle of nowhere. And side. Executed.
They didn't know GH was there. He blinked into the side, and then GH saw him and was like, wait, what? Cast a couple spells, got the kill from Matumba. Wait for kills, so 1 minute out of play.
I think GH stole these Flames lost for finding everyone in the tree line.
I think Inflame had vision. That's like a... It's a bit of a different story when you're playing heroes like Puck and Bad Rider. You can really see things. And I think Liquid are doing a good job in Miracle.
He needs vision of this. He's starting his spin. He won't have time. He can't TP out now. The Stampede, they're trying to close the distance so the Hextron Face can come out. The Plague Ward going to block the retreat of the Juggernaut. He doesn't know it. That's why the movement path sent him back towards the south. KP comes in to land the extra stun. And Juggernaut will fall on the top lane. I don't know if Liquid can really get a rebuttal. They're pushing in the mid lane. So at least they get momentum.
Pretty rare mistake from Miracle. He seems to always have these TP things under control when he's playing Juggernaut, but that time he didn't have it in his inventory. uses the spins, like, wait, I don't have a TP, has to run to the side shop, just gets caught in the door. And a big kill at that, you know, it probably enables Newbee to, if not take this top tower, then at least force rotation and deal with their problems bottom when the Sancting is dead for a minute.
The top tier 2 tower has 451 HP. Like that's not worth the defense. And there's a siege catapult coming in as well. All they can look for is raise. Oh, wait, what?
Okay, that's
you know, what was it? We were casting, okay, bottom lane. We might go back to that moment on top lane. The Gale out from Boogie. Nova being committed. GA starting his TP. You also have to end up cancelling that one. Necro wants to run away. The Lich ulti gonna bounce perfectly. GA has the stun. Boogie's BKB will also be expected to hold that lane. Was it LFY we were talking about, who were just so efficient with their usage of abilities? You never committed more than you had to. That was a heavy commitment from Newbee to put down the Mass Serpent wards.
Yeah, I didn't really like their positioning very much on that play. They Yule up the Shaker and then they meleeed him so he could stun them, and that set up for the chain prompt. They also used the silence way too early on the death prompt, so a little bit of a misplay, forcing them to use the BKB of that Venno. PT was obviously completely fine with that hood, taking very minimal damage from the Lich ulti.
But this is what Newbee kind of need to tease out at the moment. You're 2 games down. They happen in a really dominant fashion. So we didn't really touch on it much. The fact that Newbee have to pick themselves up from such a defeat during the biggest match of their lives. It's the TI Grand Final.
I like the way Fly talked about it, just logically. You know, it's like you need to win 3 games. You can win the first 3 games. You can win the last 3 games. It doesn't matter if you win 3 games. And if they need to lose 2 games to figure out what it is Liquid are so good at and how they need to draft against them, then those are losses you're willing to take. And I think those first 2 games for Newbee were really drafting experience. I don't think they misplayed horribly. I don't think they were like, oh, our coordination is so bad. They needed to learn how to play Dota against this Liquid team. And if this game is any indication, this is definitely the best chance they've had so far at taking a game off them. They stole the Venomancer, they banned out the Nature's Prophet. They are the ones playing the high tempo push style with these heroes that can knock down objectives, and Liquid are more on the back foot.
That they are. So they need to get into the front lines. Their 4-man smoke will try and do this. Same time, Newbee will look to do the same kind of thing, but you didn't have the banner on face. He's grouping up with the rest of Newbee around Roshan, which is up. So if you do lose to town, no one's defending this. They'll even burn Exorcism of SDCC to ensure this Roshan goes down very, very quickly. As you mentioned, Faith, he went back to regenerate as well as pick up the Aghanim Scepter. Liquid, they are coming. But do they get here quick enough? The Plague Wards are down. Karka staying outside the pit. They know that Liquid have to come from the south. The X is out already. Miracle spinning inside the pit. Roshan's down low. The back wall is nice. The Maslip was it down too, but the Aghanim is left. Howland Jordi, it's huge. 3 down for Newbee. They need to be able to find the BKB to allow Mugen to survive with Miracle. Killing off Roshan, taking the Aghanim team off. The Maslip was doing singling squad at the moment. Even the side, heavy damage into Mugi on the retreat. The Burrow Strike not hitting the money. Karka has to retreat back out again. The Plague War's making it difficult for Liquid just to get out of this scot-free. But now the Fusel Blade out from Miracle, catching up Mugi, ending the dominating streak. And the big advantage that Newbee had just disappeared.
It's a beautiful combo here from between Darkseer and the Earthshaker. So look at how GH backs off to the bottom right. Mind Control runs and gets the 2-man back wall. And Shaker Fissure into Blink Echo here. And Karka can't really get in from the right-hand side. He was getting his Blink cancelled by the Radiance of Matumba Man you see walking in. So this whole team fight for Newbee didn't work out. I think the problem for them is that they didn't have the right heroes in the right position to break the smoke. Shadow Shaman was in an awkward spot.
Oh, that is not a good facial expression.
KP was not ready. They needed to have a better spread around the pit with Centaur to the bottom and the Sancting to the top right, so that the 2 assault angles from Liquid would get countered by heroes with blinks. And instead Liquid just got an opening, ran in for it. Nobody stopped the Darkseer.
That prepared position I was talking about doesn't exist when the Venomancer is still down or having to fly back when the push arrives. Miracle with the Aegis Immortal does the first bit of damage to the Newbee base, beating into the tier 3 tower. KP's watching him, and they're looking. They get the Hex over on GH, but the Spaces gets caught out. Trying to look for his own Hex. Quick man to style out. KP looking for the Hawkstone, but GH is Fissure right on the money. Karka coming in, looking for any kind of stuns that make it so Liquid have overcommitted. Rod and Beta onto the Necrophos. You've lost your Shadow Shaman, but Venomancer back toward the living. Nova's available too. Miracle, you can bleed him out, but remember, he's still got the secondary life. The Boris strike, they're just trying to chip away at him. That tier 3 tower, it's going, it's gone. Miracle will grab it. The spin, he wants to back out now, but no magic community. It's too risky to stick around, but they got what they wanted. Tier 3 tower down. The shrines are now opened up, unless Liquid. Do they want to? You have Blink Echo Slam. They could just reinsert. And that is exactly what they're looking for.
Newbee don't have information, so they're going to take it easy. Got the ward down.
Oh, get away from there, KP. Mind control. He doesn't have vision on the high ground. It's just a fact. They lost their ward, trying to back it down.
Yeah, they saw the vacuum with their Plague Ward. So we were talking tradition earlier, or at least the panel were, that this is the year that, you know, China won last year. It generally alternates. That's one of the things we always have. We've never had a repeat champion in Newbee, but if Liquid win this game, we will have one tradition broken. There's never been a 3-0 in the finals. It's always been 3-1 or 3-2, and Liquid right now could make a little bit of extra history, if you will, by being the first team to get that clean sweep. It's actually a bit crazy when you think about it. There's been 6 previous TIs and never a clean sweep 3-0. You would think it would happen once. This could very well be the year. With that last team fight from Liquid, they put themselves in a very good position.
And even the TI4 finals went 3-1, and that's a bit.
There was 3-1 at every TI except TI3.
Yeah, when it went to the full 5.
That was the only 5 game set we've had, I think.
Alliance is the only time we actually went to 5 at TI. Yeah. And it took until Kiev for a repeat at a Valve event at the Major for us also to go to 5, which was the VP OG match.
Has there even been a 3-0 in a Major in final? There might have been once. I'm not sure about that.
We can leave that to the boys who love to post up stats. For now, Team Liquid, all they want to do is be crowned champions. And they are working their way towards it. The top 2 net worths now belong to the Juggernaut as well as the Necrolite. And Newbee, it's a huge ask. They have to defend, and they know they've lost control of this game. The gold graph was swung by about 10,000 in favor of Team Liquid, not to mention the experience graph racking up about 12k to 13k movement. This is a hard ask. At least Newbee have Plague Wards up from Mugi this time around. They'll have the defense.
Is that a full butterfly? Oh. He has a full butterfly starter coming in. That's like the perfect timing for this push as well. He has another 40 seconds on the Aegis, so he's just going to run in and start hitting.
The perfect timing, but watch that Aegis Immortal. If we hit 33-30, you'll know the Aegis will be timing out pretty shortly, but Miracle making the most of that 30 seconds, feeding into the tower. KP with the home stomp. They have an extra silence. Juggernaut can't do damage. The fortification's doing its work. Not been sure assignment. Taka, Virus Strike, can they wait that a little bit longer? Another 20 seconds so that Aegis is properly gone, but Team Liquid, once again, they go up, they take the tower, and they're looking to come back in once more. Watch that Aegis of the Immortal. They jump in, the hostile from KP, catching Aegis still there for the fact. Epicenter is doing his work. The Juggernaut, he's dying. The Aegis Immortal and time down a fraction of a second before. Miracle's gone. The side will get a revenge. KP will fall. Kuro tries to end the trees, but the exit from SCC. They're having the damage output to do it. 3 heroes gone from Team Liquid. I want a counter on that Aegis. It had to be half of a second in the timing of the expiration date. And then food poisoning for Liquid.
Visibility.
Don't eat off food, bro.
All right, well, I was wondering when Liquid went for this play to push bottom if they could have just taken mid-racks, you know? That I was thinking, okay, here comes the butterfly. Well, let's have a look at this.
Yeah, here's the fight. So KP gets the double stun. Kaka brings in a huge amount of damage, but it's SCC that could just stand in the middle of the fight, and there's that timing, the Juggernaut.
It must have been within a second. We saw him have it, and the click was over on the Necro, and he died with the
You heard the sound go off at the same time as the Juggernaut died.
Yeah.
That's what made it so damn
close. That's timing.
Yep.
Timing for you.
I'm wondering if Newbee had the counter in their mind. If they did, that was pinpoint accuracy, and Miracle could scratch his head and go, you know what, why me? Why me? But this is what Newbee needed. They can turn the graph around, the experience kicks back up. That was a very good fight for them. The gold doesn't swing anywhere near as much.
It's not
but they hold their high ground and they keep Liquid out.
Yeah. And Veno is going to close in at level 25, which could make their base defense a lot easier. Probably going to get that triple Plague Ward HP damage talent.
what everyone does.
Make it a lot harder for Liquid to see high ground. Now, the one thing going for Liquid still, even though that fight went wrong, they obviously took the 2 tier 3 so they can get maybe the secondary shrine and set up for Roshan at some point soon. They will want that next Aegis before they go high ground. And I think with this first Aegis, they should have probably taken the mid-racks. I'm pretty sure Newbee could not have contested that. You get the wave bottom to reach the tower, so back doors off, and then you go mid. But Liquid tried to maybe get a little bit too much in that one play.
They tried to win TI in one play.
It's still not a disaster for them. Like, they're still in a good position in this game. We're making it sound like Newbee are fully just full on back in the game. I still think Newbee have backs against the wall. You know, map control wise, it's looking tricky for them. They still have that incredible team-like combination that we've just seen in games time and time again.
Bush is coming in on bottom lane.
Something's exciting.
We're looking at here. That's what it's about. What you want to look at is Newbee in just a second. They're grouping up, ready for a smoke tank. They have a first gem of True Sight given over to Karka. Also want to point out the fact that Karka spent as much money as he possibly can. He's still 900 short of the Aghanim Scepter, so you can look towards the buybacks of Newbee. And currently, only the Death Prophet has buyback available. But Liquid, they want to fight. They're 5-man smoked up, moving towards Newbee. But Newbee are home. They are definitely lights on.
This is still going to allow Liquid to get wards out if they have any. They do have 2 wards on Kuro. So if this smoke, quote-unquote, fails, they get map control ready to roach. And this is a good smoke. Like, sometimes you don't find kills, but if you get the map control, more than good enough. Oh.
GH, he doesn't know.
Close call.
To be honest, I thought GH was able to smell out the Armadillo that was running right behind KP, but now it's Newbee. They will group up themselves, they'll sentry ward down. They see the fact there's an observer and sentry on the hill, so SCC will break his own smoke. And Liquid, the 5-on-5 fight looks to be what's brewing on the top lane. They have their own defensive observer ward where the shrine needs to be. SCC is the man on the front line. KP with fresh Solar Crest and Pipe of Insight. You need to trigger these off perfectly in order to find the opening. Karka, yeah, that ain't real, man. No matter how much it is being microed, it's not something, at least there's no chronosphere to commit. Never forget. Let's roar a ball.
1 minute for Roach. Liquid are sitting on this high ground. They're probably not going to move, because why would they? They could just stay in this area. Never mind.
Newbee's trying to make the most out of it. The Observer Ward saw the Courier still floating around inside the Dire jungle. So Karka can go to bottom, get some momentum, get some farm in. He needs that Aghanim Scepter up.
I think, so what Liquid are thinking here is, we have good vision up here. I thought they were going to stay in this area, but they want to push one more wave out mid and check the road. In many situations, you would see that the team with the high ground vision stay there with like 4 heroes, send 1 hero scouting into that road pit. But it was simply this mid wave that they wanted to take care of. Now that that's done, there's not going to be a second head.
Yule Scepter, they'll drop it back down again. Out of the Yule Scepter hit. Karka connects on his stun, follow from KP, but mind control drags them back in unwillingly into the fight. KP, he's got no way out, no stampede available. 2 heroes lost from Newbee. Liquid have opened the window.
This is at the very minimum buyback force. Maybe they will even get the tier 3.
They don't have those upgraded wards yet from Newbee, so the defense is nowhere near as strong. Yeah, the buyback from SCCC is used. There is no buybacks available from Newbee. So even contesting around Roshan is a dangerous thing. If that fight goes haywire, Team Liquid will be crowned champions.
Yeah, they're going to push out mid. Same logic again, sending in Miracle here. They have a couple of Radiant solutions with 15 seconds on them, so they're going to shove out this wave and go into this Roche pit that they are 100% sure has spawned, because I think we're close to maximum spawn timer. Will never hesitate a little bit, showing a lot of respect to Newbee, who would be 4-on-5 without their Centaur and even a Shrine to TP on. But
and they don't have Stampede for 15 seconds, but it's a bait. Like, the scanner's come in from Radiant, now it hasn't flagged red. But Liquid have gone back to just keep farming up in the jungle. Are they waiting for a critical item? There is something coming on the Courier. It's the full BKB from Miracle. That's what's coming. That's what's going to give Liquid the surprise advantage of the next team fight.
They're going to send in a Juggernaut. These Plague Wards are still not triple. So close to 25 from Newbee, but might come in just a little bit too late.
Someone give this man some space. He needs it. Even Shaman was coming to help and just push out the wave. But you are right, without those upgraded Plague Wards, without Liquid having to fight through basically attack towers, they are still the superior ones coming into the team fight at the moment. SDCC does have a little bit more life to work with. Now he's got that plus 10 armor from the plate mount. So trying to at least survive the damage. Miracle, in fact, he's also got that diffuser blade now upgraded to his 2nd level. So much to work with. Buyback is available for the Venomancer and Centaur, plus the ES and the Necro. So both sides having 2 buybacks for this fight, while Moogie litters the field with Plague Wards. And he has the upgrade now, so he has the plus, the 3 times Plague Ward HP and damage available.
Liquid will get the information they're waiting for. Their bottom wave is pushing so hard that Newbee has to send a hero back to defend. It's going to be the Centaur, and I think this will make Liquid move up. I've seen Matoma immediately moving into the river, starting to try to deal with Plague Wards. Yeah, that's great fun.
Yeah, this isn't going to happen.
They're managing that.
Moogie can just camp the mid lane. He leaves a couple of Plague Wards in the mid, but that's why GH looks for his opportunity. Coming under the cover of Shadow Blade, ventures across the river, getting his feet wet.
Can't really see an opening there.
Yep.
They just want some... see, that is the problem that Liquid's lineup has, right? They don't have that vision. They don't have any way of scouting except planting wards, so they can't really set up their amazing team fight unless they know exactly where the enemy team is. So that's what was presented.
Is it a never-ending standoff because of this?
I think Liquid could once again just try to push out bottom and force a reaction, or they can close call, but Parker gets out. So Liquid can try to force in bottom. Since there's no tier 3 tower, these barracks have to be defended, but current momentum is going the way of Newbee.
He's got the Gem of True Sight. They're trying to get rid of the Observer Ward they saw on the other side of the hill, so the Plague Ward does it in 2 shots. And Team Liquid, this is not something they want to lose, so they're going to 4-man smoke up. Miracle just used his spin. This feels so much like bait. Boogie feels it too. Scaling into Miracle. They're not committing too heavily in with the Venomancer, but he has that BKB. The reaction point was all about Miracle, the Burst from Kaka. It'll connect all of a bit for KB. He'll get the Son of the Master, towards the middle of the field, darts here. Cobra enough, Miracle, the Echo slaps there from GH on the Omni side. And damage out for Turping with the side. SCC is gone for 2 minutes. The Lich Chamber bouncing back down Kaka, trying to hide himself, but right now it's all Liquid. They have taken down 4. He'll get the buyback from the Venomancer, GH to the 4 stuff. He won't even die for this. Liquid lose nothing, but take everything from Newbee.
That was so close. Miracle with 5% HP got off that Omni Slash, and it turned the entire fight. GH waited as long as he could on that bait to come in with the Echo Slam that broke the shackles and let Miracle get his spell off. That looked so scary. It really looked like Miracle would die, and if he falls there, it's a different story. I don't even think he had buyback on the Juggernaut at that moment. But got a lot of gold from the fight. They'll take the road, and they're gonna more than likely just head down mid. They have 10 seconds on healing ward, so Miracle will be up to full again.
And they can just do the same streak, just put Miracle on the front line. Let's have a look at that moment once more. So
he
Miracle,
wants this DD.
He does.
Instant stun, blink away, connect again. Now they're gonna shackle in a moment. So here are the shackles. Miracle's dropping so low. There's the Echo Manta. Omni. Just barely getting bailed out by GH.
And with that double damage upgrade, it's too much. And here comes Liquid into the melee racks on mid. Still no death profit for 40 seconds. Liquid doing severe damage to the Newbee home. They'll rotate towards the bottom. The tier 3 towers, that was mere prep work for Liquid. Now they follow through. A nice Burrow strike on the 2. They need more Plague Wars, they need more defense, but Miracle doesn't give 2 hoots. Just keeps beating through the building. Fortifications there to protect the range reactor. By time for Death Prophet to come back alive again. When she's up, she still won't have Exorcism. She'll be on cooldown for another 38 seconds. Miracle, a quick push back. That's the Hurricane Pike going to work. The Tumbleman sticking with it. Team Liquid, they're going to make the play for Megas. Death Prophet, 5 seconds until she's up. The Hulk plus the Gale into the Necro. Mass left force, they've got really good range for that Aghanim's upgrade, so they can defend inside the base. Liquid can also wait this out the shackles. It holds Miracle. They just keep chaining him across the universe. They hold him. Kaka wants to come out for more, but be careful. GH has Blink Echo Slam up and running.
Healing ward in the back. Liquid are so close. Just one more good fight. They know there can't be buybacks on Newbee's lineup. They must have done so much economical damage that any big kill...
They see everything. Here comes the Echo Slam. Is it going to be enough or not yet? The future is down. Necro control. It's a nice holding from Boogie. Maybe the regeneration's enough. Miracle. The Agency model will pop face. Able to shackle him forever. Holding him. Up they come once more. No Hex. No Instant unavailable. Omni Clash on top of Boogie. The tries are doing enough. And it's all a Miracle Joe. Double kill for him. Defuse the wet. SCCC. While Centaur controls the backline. The Exorcism. It needs to do some damage, but right now Newbee dropping
Liquid, they were so close to elimination like 2 or 3 times in a row. And every single time they overcame it, and today they just looked like just flat out the best team in the world. This series, it's not only a 3-0, it was pretty convincing wins for the most part. Just a clearly better team.
Team Liquid 3-0. Good job. Miracle, Casford, the best. Yes. The best, Miracle. Okay, the best, back on, yay. Selamat buat tim Liquid yang telah berhasil meraih poin penuh di channel match. Win. Okay. Nice war. Oke, kita coba untuk cari dulu apa? Ya, display. Nah, kita cari untuk selebrasinya. cari ya. Selebrasinya. Easy win buat Liquid.
Team Liquid had an unbelievable path to the finals, beating Secret, Empire, Virtus.pro, LGD, LFY, and now in the finals 3-0 against Newbee. Just remarkable.
Amazing run, really.
Unstoppable. Best team in the world.
It's crazy to think that going into the finals, they came from lowers, and yet they so clearly were the dominant team in drafting and execution. When they were behind, they were able to pull back. When they had a good opening, they were able to close it out.
Their run this year kind of reminded me of their run this tournament. They struggled a lot at TI6, and they were pretty good before that, and they were at the bottom. They didn't even qualify for the next major, and slowly and steadily they've been building back up, and finally this is their pinnacle. This is what Kuro's been putting tens of thousands of hours into.
Gosh, 7 TIs of waiting, and finally the Aegis. I mean, what a turnaround in the middle of that game, that fight. I mean, if Miracle was just a little bit lower on health.
That DD Rune as well, like he was shooting in the center, I think, like killing him with 2 crits, and he's like super fast as well to use his diffuser blade when the opponents use the Yules.
Even if they didn't win that game, they would have won the next one. Liquid is by far the best team here, and Croaky is such an impressive captain. All these new guys, very, very young. GH's first TI ever, first place. It's I can't even imagine what those guys are feeling.
It's just incredible to think how versatile their hero lineup was. You could see in every single game how much practice was there. GH, he hasn't lost a game with Earthshaker in ages, as far as it feels. And I mean, we didn't even see his Wisp today. Who do you ban against them? It doesn't matter. Team Liquid always seem to have an answer, except for how to open this champagne bottle. That's going to be a real challenge.
This is going to be fun to see.
Champagne bottles are always a tricky thing in esports.
Why don't they just give them, like, you know, sparkling water, something with a screw-off cap? Let's see if Team Liquid can be the first team in all of esports to successfully open the champagne. He can't open it.
They can win 3-0 in the grand finals, but they can't open a champagne bottle. There we
go. He just holds it as it spills onto his hand. Yeah, right from the bottle. There it is.
I mean, hey, you do. I have power. I'm not gonna do this. I can't do it. You should do it. MC. Is it good, MC?
No. Can you twist this for me?
Yeah, exactly like that. Well, as the players have demonstrated, they're the best Dota team in the world. But, you know, it's you got to understand those caps on those champagne bottles. I mean, how could they have prepared for this?
It's tough.
I know. I know. You know, PPD, I know you've won a TI. Talk to me about the technique of opening the champagne.
You don't need to open your own champagne anymore. You can afford someone else to do it for you.
Why do you have 2 bottles? Because you're gonna get drunk tonight. This is
yeah, Kuroky's gonna celebrate, man.
No, I'm fine.
As they should. It's been a long year. Hasn't been easy. Liquid has not been the best team all year. They just happen to be the best team at this tournament.
How long does it take to set in?
This way, so open a hole, please.
I mean, I don't know. This moment will change their lives forever, and they'll never forget it. So,
I think a day, like, until you actually like understand what you have done and that you actually won TI and can start to comprehend what actually happened.
Yeah, I mean, your body, your mind has been completely focused, programmed. They're like, oh God, not more Dota. Yeah, no. Look, we're not going to give you any prize money unless you can each open a champagne bottle successfully.
Pretty sure they're going to play Dota tomorrow.
Yeah.
As is everybody else here.
Yeah, I mean, one of the greatest treats about the end of TI is that you get to go home and play Dota. It is like the most exciting moment because you have all the ideas, all the strategies in your head. You saw the pros do them.
Yep. TI may have come to an end, but tomorrow is the start of the new season.
Oof.
It's going to be a big one for Dota this year. I'm very optimistic about what's the future for Dota holds.
Gosh, Team Liquid as an organization has so many championships. Now they get to also say they have a Dota 2 TI win under their belts. Just incredible.
They picked a good captain.
Yeah.
Roki, you know, he's been here for 7 years. He's yet to take home the Aegis. He's finally got a roster that he believes in. His team believes in him. And they managed to make it work.
And again, there's no TI winner twice, right?
Yep, no TI winner twice.
Yeah.
So
next year, PPD?
Kuroki is cursed. I don't think next year's going to be his year, right?
Next year?
Next year for you? You're coming back?
For both of you.
For both of us, huh? Yeah, we should make a team, us four.
Oh,
Day 9,
sure.
you could captain with all of your
oh, yeah. All right.
your little Dota anecdotes.
First pick, Viper.
Hey,
second pick, Jungle Bloodseeker. I'm out.
You're the boss, man.
I'm out.
Out.
Dude, it's hard to even think of a weak link in the lineup. Every single player on Team Liquid stepped up throughout the entire event.
I mean, they actually managed to play so well in the third game as well. I actually thought that they were gonna crumble a bit, like as we were talking about before, that they actually feel that they can almost reach the victory. Like it's so close, and then you make mistakes, but they played super well still, and that's very impressive.
It's a great feeling when you're so far ahead and you're just destroying your enemies' buildings as they desperately try to hang on. They knew they won TI well before the other team said GG.
Yeah, I mean, those fights by Roshan were so huge. That fight right in mid lane before they pulled back and got the other Aegis. I mean, just such patience from Team Liquid. I mean, Kevin, I got to hear your thoughts on that. An incredible series, a remarkable victory by Team Liquid.
Yeah, I really liked how hard-fought Game 3 was. Liquid was definitely on the back foot most of the time, and it made it really hard to win the fight. Just a really... All right, that's all from me. But that was all I can contribute.
Way to end strong.
No problem.
Today.
Well, hey, the teams are getting out of the elevator with Casey right now. I want to hear from them. Casey, over to you.
We are just about to have them coming out of the elevator now. The doors are about to open. And when they do, we don't know how slow this elevator is, but we're going to find out. What's going to be really cool is there are fans already lining up on the red carpet outside. So this will be really their first chance to be up close and personal with their fans, to thank them in person. And we're wondering how much it's all really been sinking in. Here they are. Coming out, coming out. All right, guys. How's it going?
The sun is nice.
Look at all your fans.
Yeah.
What do you want to say to all of them right now?
Oh, just a sec. Oh, all right.
We're going to kill you first, and then we'll...
Thank you for the support. I appreciate you coming here and stuff. Yeah. No, that's.
Oh, you were telling him what to say, but actually that was
what to say. No. I just want to say thanks to all the fans and the family, friends who believed in us. Of course, we appreciate it. I just want to say that thanks for believing in us throughout all this journey. We had some rough patches, but we're here now, so I'm pretty happy about it.
And now you're very deserving of the red carpet, so I'm going to let you come out this way. I'm going to follow you because I should never walk in front of champions. No, but after you, sir. Okay, he's insisting that at least I'm behind Kuro. That makes me feel a little bit better. All right, guys, here you go. You're TI champions, guys, right here. Come on, give them some love. Here they are. What are you thinking right now? I mean, has it all had a chance to sink in now that you're seeing all this?
I'm not sure. I just can't realize that we won the final.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And by the way, in a good fashion. What about you? Is it sinking in?
Slowly. But, you know, being #1 feels goddamn great.
Do you want to talk to some of your fans over here?
This guy looks nice.
Can you please hold it?
Yeah. On my hand.
Did you say hold my hand or on?
On my hand.
Okay, good.
Dude,
This guy is
This
the man.
guy.
He's the man.
Right?
Oh my God. TI winner. $10 million. Holy hell.
Hold yourself. US dollars.
Catch up with your. I'm slowing you down. All right, here we go. We're running. How do you even have the energy now, man?
I mean, it was quick. It was a quick one.
Did you expect it to be that quick?
No, I thought Newbee is actually gonna give us a lot more effort beating them, but I don't know. It's just I'm so focused in Dota that I don't know what to say. I just focus on the games, and now it feels kind of empty inside actually, because like the games ended and like I have no purpose anymore.
What's next, right?
Yeah, I mean, what's next? It's like I was so happy playing these games, but like, now there's like I don't know.
Well, now you have to defend your title.
I mean, next year, yeah, but in the moment I feel empty hands. What can I say?
I know. Well, you guys have earned this. I hope you guys get a chance to let it sink in. Take a look. Look at all these fans. Get in there with your teammates.
Hey, can I also get a selfie? Oh, okay, thank you. Hey guys, can I get a selfie? Thank you. 3, 2, 1.
You're the champion. You're the best.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you very much. We've been playing really well.
Pleasure. Okay, in there.
Hey, yeah. Thank you.
They're being surrounded by fans. They deserve it. They're finally getting exactly what they came here for. I can't even imagine. You guys, we got to get you into your limo. I got to tell you, there are a lot of vehicles out here. Let's see if we can find you your limo. You guys, can we get one more round of applause for your TI champs? What's next? What are you going to do tonight to celebrate?
I don't know. We're very tired. Long day.
I told you I'd give you enough time to prep for the last series.
Yeah, thank you.
As you left, I thought if they lose, it's going to be on me.
No, we had enough time. I think they gave us some more time, so that was nice.
Congratulations to all of you guys. Your
Thank you
TI
very much.
champs. Congratulations, you guys. They have to go party it up now.
Congratulations, Team Liquid. That was the funniest thing. Oh my God, he said I have no purpose. He just won TI.
We just follow Matoma Man home on the bus.
I know, I just want to ask him questions now because his answers are amazing. Oh my God, what an incredible TI this was on day 9. This is Ake, this is Merlini, and that is PPD. It has been an absolute pleasure to be hosting and paneling for this event. We hope you had a blast, and we hope to see you next year. Until then, play some Dota 2.